Yo, what's up? What's up?
Nothing much. How you doing, brother?
Ah, getting doing all this fucking editing and everything. Oh, here he goes. Getting So what's going on?
Bro, can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
loud and
coming
clear.
through.
Loud and clear.
Yeah, man, that's some cold music, man. I like that song right there, man. Did you make that one right there, Luke?
I got this off of CapCut.
Oh, no joke. Yeah, I use CapCut too, man. I'm actually doing some stuff. I'm just did some editing with CapCut myself. That's actually one of the better programs I've noticed that are really good. The pro version is even better.
Yeah, I got the pro. I'm trying to master it. It's a lot of good shit that it's a lot of good potential stuff. I was just fucking around, like just making stuff just to see how it works. The shit be coming out great.
Have you worked with the motion detection and the motion capture yet?
No.
Yeah, that motion tracking is real cool, man, because you can put text and then you can like I'll be doing it with the football. So I'll actually like put the motion cap on the tracking onto the actual player and it'll follow them as like, let's say if it's a running back, they'll follow the running back. And I was like, oh man, that's cool as hell. Any other program, man, you can do it, but it takes like keyframing and all that. CapCut lets you do it automatically by itself. If you just set the motion tracker to the box of where the person is, it just follows them. And I'm like, man, that is so cool.
For real?
Yeah, no doubt, bro. If you go into
because I'm using it. I'm gonna be I'm editing a lot of my Call of Duty clips.
Okay. Yeah, you could probably use that as well, especially with like if you're doing like headshots and stuff like that, like compilations or stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
That's nice.
I'm trying to find. I did a layered video. I'm trying to find it on my phone.
Yo, what up, AL? I see you in there. Hey, what's going down with you, AL?
What's going on, good people? I just thought I'd slide through here because I seen what's going on,
brother?
What's going on,
bro?
Joe Mixon this week. You called it, bro. I started him too, boy. Joe Mixon did the fool, boy.
Man, look, when it come to this ball thing, man, I'm like but when I talk, son, please listen. I paid my dues when it comes to this sport. I study it like a rat's looking for cheese, man. I'll be on the hunt for every little thing. I told you when he came back, he was gonna be same thing as you. But did you see your boy though, man? The backup. Did you see Pierce?
Man, Pierce is going hard too. I'm like, man, we got so many men in the backfield. They don't know where.
He ain't got no choice, cause shit, you got fucking acres up his ass, and he a running whirling dervish whenever he want to be, and even the African and shit, he be catching balls. Yeah, I just call him the African. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not even gonna butcher his name. He the African.
Ogun, I just call him Ogun.
Yeah. He man, shit. We get paid. We take care of our business this Sunday against the Packers. Yeah. Like I said, I know how to pronounce it, but he's just the African. He's just that.
That's all right.
We damn sure better than them Cowboys. Them Cowboys got their ass smashed, boy.
We're not talking about trash right now. And please, this is the last time I'm gonna tell you.
Oh, snap.
Oh, that's
I made that on CapCut. I made that shit on CapCut.
Yo, that is dope as hell, bro.
Is that an homage to the Master Educator BGS?
Yeah, look.
Oh, you got to get that to BGS ASAP.
When he get his eyes on that, he gonna give you good hearty 7 chuckles, and he gonna love it too, boy. Yeah, that's tight.
Yeah, that's on CapCut, you said, bro?
I did that on CapCut, just fucking around.
Yeah.
Yo,
By the
dog,
way,
If that's what you call fucking around, use a fucking Rembrandt and a fucking Michelangelo all rolled into one in the 21st century, brother. Use the shit for real. You get flowers for that, bro. For real. That ain't fucking
Dwayne, I ain't
around.
gonna lie, that's dope. That's really dope, man.
yeah,
For
that
real.
CapCut something serious, man. I'm telling you, when you even just look at some of the options, I was messing around with it just like on some of the static pictures. And then I've actually noticed some of the stuff, if you go online and just go to the CapCut online version, they even allow you to do some stuff in there that you can't even do in the PC one. And I was like, man, you could do like the AI. You've got the AI editor where you can actually go in there and make the different pictures. They'll be like video. You can make a picture into a video. It's crazy.
Yeah. Unfortunately, my subscription to StreamYard had expired. When I get paid again, I'm going to
Okay.
upgrade, and I could put all that into different things. I made one for Charles Faulkner, all that type of shit.
Okay.
I had made a brand new intro for Black Ram. He uses the intro.
Oh, that's what's up.
CapCut, they got a lot of good shit on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I had did one for Brother Chaos, man. I was messing with some stuff, and I was like, man, dude, this CapCut is crazy, dude. It's like it's one of the more powerful video editors I've ever seen.
You know what? You know who could benefit the
Y'all keep doing y'all thing, man. I'm like real shit. I'm envious of y'all because that's not my forte. I
But
sit back, I look at dudes like y'all doing that shit, just be wondering, man, how the fuck do they be making that shit happen? With more power to y'all. Keep doing what y'all doing for real.
You know what, guys? I just realized something. Somebody who could benefit from CapCut would be Snowman. I mean, him.
Snowman has other stuff he used.
Well, you know, actually, it's Cole Johnson, his EP, who's got that covered for him. But
Oh,
Cole's
okay.
a genius with that shit. But Cole's a genius with the shit he does. I mean, especially like some of the clips he uses. Like my favorite one was what you call whenever somebody says some dumb shit and he wants to say, "Are you for real?" He used the clip of Teddy Pendergrass just looking at somebody going, "Is you for real?" Just before the song before Melvin blew the blue note saying, "Just be real." But that as well as what you
Well,
call
CapCut, just
mhm,
even a regular CapCut program,
mhm.
even if you're like you don't have the money to invest into like Artlist or those other programs, that's a great tool for any like if this is just a hobby for you or whatever. Because once you master CapCut, and I'm learning a lot of stuff, you could do a lot of like this is one of the best free tools I've ever seen out there in a while, in a long time.
Yeah, the amount of free stuff that they allow you to do. I actually, before I was doing the YTFL, I was using CapCut because it had a lot of different effects that was, actually works pretty good with slower computers too. But what I noticed is that when I went in to export some of the stuff, Lewis, I saw that it was like, the effects that they was using was so great. I was like, man, you know what? This $9. All right, let me try it. And I did it, and I was like, man, it's well worth that $9 a month. It is.
Yeah, it is.
But that's good though, man. And that's great because a lot of brothers, we get bad raps and stuff. But man, I could just say right now, bro, from the spaces that we all visit and we deal with brothers that man, we actually help each other out, man. We ain't always out here trying to get out here and talk shit about each other, and everybody want to be the biggest dog on a mountain. Man, you doing stuff helping brothers out. Man, that one you just did for BJ, just imagine. Man, people pay hundreds of dollars for that stuff, man. You know what I'm saying?
I actually sent that to him. I actually had sent that that file to him.
Yeah, man. And
tear each other
I
down.
did something for Chaos too, man. I sent one for him. Like I'm like this, bro. I'm always trying to help a brother out, man. Because guess what? I know one thing. a lot of people we get a bad rap, especially in the spaces. You got a lot of bad actors in the space that make it worse, for us trying to actually work together. And man, just seeing that, man, that shows me a lot of people, man, they actually really want to work and help other brothers out. That's what I appreciate. I really appreciate that, man, for sure.
That's cool. You know what? Just that creativity and everything, that just like really intrigues me a lot. By the way, speaking of creativity, Louis,
Yo,
your avatar, can you blow it up for a minute? I want to take a good look at it. 2nd Battalion, 10th Marines. Oh, that's the unit you served in?
yeah.
Oh, that's
10th
beautiful.
Golf 210.
That's what's up.
That was our artillery unit.
You just got me nostalgic all of a sudden about something.
Oh, your father, right?
Yeah. Because my story about my dad, right?
Somewhat.
Let me. I don't want to put up a picture of him, but this is what I want to put up. This right here. You know what that is?
That's Army. Is that not quartermasters, right?
Army Corps of Engineers.
Corps, yeah.
79 to 94. He was with them. Eastern Province, Saudi Arabia.
Hey man, salute to your pop, man, for sure. Engineers, man, all day. What's crazy is I tell people this all the time, man. Brothers, and when we go back to this 40 acres and its mule, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people they fail to realize, and me and Charles was having this conversation one day, and we actually was explaining this to people before they killed Lincoln, right? And before whoever took over after him as far as the military, I forgot his name, but he was the one that actually did away with it, right? But we were getting our 40 acres, not for just 40 acres and a mule, so to speak. That was a reward for us serving in the military, and we was going to be able to have that and take care of our families because we did serve, and that was our reward for that. A lot of people just say, oh, it's just everybody no, they gave it to the brothers who was actually serving. You know what I'm saying? And they lost that. So, just that alone, you know what I'm saying? I hear a lot of people just be complaining about it, like, oh man, y'all just mad. I'm like, man, what about all the brothers and my family? Every single person, every man in our family has served, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, when
had a gratitude for your service, each and every one of y'all. Well, both of you guys. I mean.
But
I'm trying not to cry right now. I'm trying not to cry because it just got me thinking about my dad all of a sudden. I lost him last year and everything. But
think about it though, brother. Even like speaking on your pops. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about that. We have served in every major war that this country has had, and we've been relegated. They didn't want to let us fight because they knew that we was going to outfight them, right? When we did it, from the Tuskegee Airmen to the Navy boys, to not even just them, even some of the Marines, and even with the Big Red One, with the tank unit that was just destroying Rommel and all of that shit. We was holding it down. Even when they come up with the term of nigger rigging, when they came up with the term of nigger rigging, I tell people all the time, do not ever use that word with me because I call it Afro engineering. Shout out to the Afro engineers, right? Because I say it's Afro engineering. So that means to tell me that when our logistics chain got knocked out over there in World War II, brothers was actually the gearheads and the grease monkeys, what they call it. We was actually fixing the vehicles without having the logistics chain, right? And they would call it nigger rigging. So you mean to tell me, oh, you're going to put a bad connotation to that, but we were fixing these vehicles so that we could go out and fight. without having the logistics chain. And now it's called nigger rigging instead of saying Afro engineering, because if it wasn't for us fixing it, y'all wouldn't have been able to use these vehicles, right? So, you know, I tell people I tell people now, Lewis, name of I get mad when people say nigger rigging, I put them to the side. No, don't say that.
That's ingenuity, adapting.
It's not just you guys. Remember, you guys are forgetting one thing. It wasn't just Adolf's men who fought in World War II. People forget how many Africans on behalf of the French, as well as on the behalf of the British, hell, motherfuckers from where I'm from, fighting on behalf of the Italians. On behalf of the Italians, fought in World War II. And
right now, French Legion was half what African colony guys in of itself.
I mean, let me connect something, because like I remember this might sound weird, but I have to connect some dots here. If y'all can bear with me for a minute. Little short thing. France. Everybody talks about like the French national team when it comes to soccer. Like a lot of them are African. One of those guys, now one of them who was part of that team that won the World Cup in 1998. His name is Patrick Vieira. Senegalese immigrant, but he's not technically an immigrant. You know how? Though he was born in Senegal, he and his family were able to relocate to France. Why? Because his grandfather served in the French military, and they were granted French citizenship as a result. And he was just a little kid when he was born in the 70s in Senegal. He earned his French citizen. He was granted his grandfather earned that right to be a French national. But it took them like years for them to earn that shit. There was a film that the French put out about North Africans and Sub-Saharan Africans fighting on behalf of the French in North Africa. Some of those men had to wait even decades until they got their benefits from the French government. That included French citizenship, which they were able to pass on to their children and grandchildren. France owes them a debt of gratitude. They never got they didn't get their dues until after the fact. Same thing with so many Africans and North Africans who relocated to France to rebuild the country after World War II. Same thing with the British. Same thing with the Belgian, for that matter. Because remember, Belgium was hit hard during World War II, and they brought so many Congolese, so many folks from the Congo to help rebuild their country. So y'all. So y'all you guys got it fucked up. I'm not saying nobody got it worse than it. I'm not comparing grievances, but we all should acknowledge each other's suffering. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Of course.
We all should acknowledge each other's. I mean, my great grandfather, he fought in Libya on behalf of the Italians in the 1930s. His only benefit was the fact he was able to come home in one piece. And of course, back then they didn't talk about PTSD back then. But when he was able to come home, he was able to have. He was already married. He had left a wife with a couple kids, but he came back, had 3 more kids, including my grandmother, and he was able to move on with his life. And I saw pictures of him. I only met him once when I was a baby, but I saw pictures of him later on, and I saw the look in his eyes. I said, "This is somebody who saw some shit. He saw some serious shit." And that man didn't give a. He was just a simple man from his traditional village, and he didn't care. He just wanted. When he came back, he came back. But he was only just grateful to be back. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Nothing to do with that shit. But the fact he was able to come back after seeing some bullshit like that, and this is 1930s in Libya, man. And those cats, when they saw the deserts of Libya, they said, "We know that there's a heaven because we've seen hell." I'm sure a lot of them rolling in their graves, finding out that several decades later, their own grandchildren, in some cases great grandchildren, have to cross those deserts just to get to Europe. Sorry for taking too much time, but Just had to get that off my chest.
No, I mean there's a long history in black bodies being used in warfare. I
Oh,
mean,
even now. But yeah.
even with this nation, like you can you can argue we kicked this off because it started with Crispus Attucks.
Boston Massacre. The Boston Massacre, Crispus Attucks was the first to get killed. I mean, how many brothers fought in the American Revolution only be put back in shackles after the fact? After the fact. How many more end up fighting on the side of the British when they offered them freedom in the War of 1812?
Yo, let me play this right quick.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
gonna play
sorry
this.
about that.
Like, no, this is fun. This one I'll be putting up. Wait a minute.
Nicole, the manosphere is right. They're right on this. Because get this. You know who has the greatest chance of having multiple children by multiple different women? Prison inmates. Or formerly incarcerated males. They have a 26% chance. If you are what's up, Chris? If you are a man that has been in the prison industrial complex, you have a higher chance of having 2 baby mamas than a nigga that has never seen the inside of a prison cell.
I'm glad I graduated high school,
Now,
went to some college and trade
I
school.
love women's,
For that.
but what the hell? I have been looking for every ounce of data I can to refute this shit. I have found nothing. I have found nothing. The only negative of this story is the fact that this study does not take directly into account women that were previously married and then got remarried. That's the only when they had the kids. That's the only thing I can't find. Other than that, all of these statistics stand true across multiple different sources. And this study started in 2011.
Just think if that study
Yeah,
would
I
have
was thinking
started.
some of these women might.
Yeah, what was that, AL?
Just think if that study would have started in the late 60s, early 70s, all the way on up to now. And then wonder what those numbers would be like. Just imagine. Just imagine.
Yeah, this is the one that was when Kevin Samuels was alive, R.I.P. He would listen to his shows and do a clubhouse stream on it, and it was a bunch of Kevin Samuels haters. And I found this today, which I recorded part 1 of it, and he's finally admitting that everything that was said in this community was true.
Who, Kevin's admitting it or someone else
No,
is admitting it?
this is Dr. Julio.
Okay. He's admitting to what Kevin has been putting out and been saying this whole time. He
Yeah.
finally had scripts. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, because the title of that was of this particular clubhouse room was 58% of black women have multiple baby daddies.
One thing I got to consider, we got to factor into this. Not only because, you're talking about women getting involved with incarcerated or formerly incarcerated men, right? So one problem one thing they don't talk about is like the rate of STIs and STDs.
Oh, he talk about that.
Especially one particular one.
Yeah, the HIVs, the houses in Virginia.
Yeah, the red ribbon.
Yeah, houses in Virginia. Shout out to what's the dude? Accountable Commentary.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Bitter Truth?
Hey, what up, Bitter Truth? Or like as our man, yeah, it was good. As our man Mr. Z would say, the die slow, or as they say in Uganda, the slims.
Yeah. We used to call it Batman Forever here in Jersey.
Serious question, not to switch gears on you boys, but I just want to know you guys' opinion. I happened to be on the Roger Report this morning, and then we touched on a little bit later on through BGS's channel a little bit. He hit on it. Then AB was talking about it too. How do you fellas feel about this? All of a sudden, fourth quarter, let's throw these nigga men a bone policies that she done put out as far as I'm losing and I gotta throw out this Hail Mary to save my campaign. How you fellas feeling about it as black men? How do y'all
I
feel?
It's
think I think it's a desperate sweet nothing she's throwing out to get the men back in line.
it's not for us.
You okay? Okay.
Looking. I'll just be perfectly transparent. I got through what I think probably was about a third to a half of it.
Mm-hmm.
There's mention of black men and others like 3-4 times in the piece that I read, and it's like
You heard that part, huh? That part was a gnaw in your craw, huh? That was a bridge too far when you heard that other part. Like, bitch, I thought you said this was for black men. Then here you go with this other shit. Y'all got to see, boy. That when I heard that this morning, I was like, this bitch. That's all. Who she thinks she playing with? She has truly for blacks and others. Cause y'all know I ain't giving you blacks not 0.00% of my time, nor energy or finances. I'm
But
like,
AL, she's just doing the playbook that her masters gave her from the
right?
Democratic Party.
Absolutely. And then wonder why this shit won't stick. You done threw the runs up on the wall and wonder why it won't stick here. Don Cheeto got more class than you. At least when he throws some shit, it's some shit that's gonna stick a little bit. It might fall down 2-3 days from that, but it's gonna stick. But this bitch, she just threw the runs at us like, oh, y'all know my shit ain't no good. It's gonna run hard, but y'all want y'all to eat it up. No.
I looked at that plan, and I was literally more insulted. And I was kind of surprised. I was like, damn, I didn't think I could feel more insulted than I did, but they say hold my beer.
The first thing that ran through my head was the gall of this bitch. Then I'm appalled. Then I was pissed off. I was like, how could you have all three of those emotions running through your head at one time over somebody this minute? But yeah, all three of those emotions came out. I'm like, this happy, good goddamn. I'm like, so from the distinguished all the way down to the blue collar to the I ain't shit nigga, you just saying fuck all y'all.
What's up, Art?
All y'all.
Good art. AL, first and foremost, I don't blame you. In fact, I'm 100% beside you, behind you, in front of you, on top of you, below you on this shit. I got your back from all 60 angles, man. So you got cubed up and protected that way. So you understand this bitch is a fucking empty suit. She's empty. She's a sack of hammers, as they say in the UK. In fact, she's a plastic bag of ball peen hammers.
I told them this morning, I said, after this election, she will go down in history as the biggest cosplaying politician that ever lived. Now, we know Barack Obama has been holding this title for a long time, but this bitch, she finna beat your hands down, bro. She finna beat your hands down.
I mean, it's, you know what? That old Muhammad Ali quote comes to mind, where he said, if I was a cook in the galley of a ship and all of a sudden they promoted me to captain, that means the boat's about to sink.
Hey, you can ask Dory Miller that firsthand. He went through that firsthand on purpose. Pearl Harbor Day. Shit.
God damn. I mean,
that nigga he had to leave from washing the pots and the pans to get all the way up on the front of the ship to shoot the fucking artillery to fucking try to keep the ship afloat. That's basically what the fuck he went through.
Wait a minute, didn't he get an accommodation for that, or wasn't he given a medal for that shit? He did shoot down a couple of planes, didn't he?
He really named a basketball auditorium gym after this man in my hometown. He's from my hometown, Austin, Texas. Can't nobody not.
They didn't name a USS boat on it after him.
Can't nobody not tell me nothing. Dory Miller. Period.
Dory Miller, certified bad motherfucker.
Yes. All by his motherfucker self. The ship's going down and he's still shooting at them bitches.
Man.
But yeah. That woman there, boy. Ooh.
She's got rocks in the head, man. Or as my father would have called her, testaduro, which means rockhead or stonehead. She's got nothing. She's got rocks in her head.
Well, I honestly think that the Democratic Party know there's a slim chance she might win, but they just got to play the course to let it play out. They can't just say, "Oh, we're not going to win." They got to back her up. But I think the Democratic Party right now, behind the scenes, is recalibrating, and they're going for the midterms to gather more seats and potential, their next candidate in 4 years.
Or look at it this way, Louis. Or they're just one thing we have to consider is this huge monkey wrench, and that is Trump could get it his own way. Because if Trump says something really fucked up, or says something kind of just has to say the wrong shit, or does the wrong thing, next thing you know, everybody like, you know what, fuck this motherfucker, and pull a 180 on him.
Well, look at it like this: Trump gets in, he's an automatic lame duck. He only got 4 years.
Yeah.
So if you get in office,
4 years. He's not asking to do the full 8-year term. Think about it. He was really stripped from doing his 2 terms like most presidents get the ability and a chance to do. I mean, they that election, that second term, him trying to run, he pretty much got railroaded towards the last 3 weeks of that campaign, and nobody didn't think that lame brain ass Biden was going to pull it off, but somehow, some way, he did for no rhyme or no reason. He's just trying to get his 4 years back. All he wants is his 4 years. That's it.
Yeah.
All in due time, I guess.
I think they're not, the Democratic Party is worried about 2028, so not right now. Let her be on stage, her time to shine, which is right now. I'm not, I think you can't take your opponent for granted. That's how Hillary Clinton lost against Trump. So they playing it out. So if Trump gets in, really, it could be a win-win for the Democratic Party, because right now, the way this economy is, if it tanks even more, you could blame Trump. If these 2 conflicts get out of control, you could blame Trump. You said when you get in office that you're going to shut shit down, you're going to fix this, you're going to fix that. If it doesn't happen, you could blame him. And you in 2028 to be in play. Hey, Bitter, what's up?
What's up?
No, you have anything to say
about the next president after Trump?
No, with the situation, period.
I feel like whoever wins the election, they basically got a grenade in their hands. All the data, like the jokes, which is the job openers and labor turnover statistics, the quits, the hiring, the fact that the jobs reports, like every month when you see Biden, we created more jobs than expected. Pay attention, because a couple months later, they almost always get revised down significantly. Like, all this stuff is showing that we head towards a big recession. And regardless of who gets in there, I think that's going to be issue number 1. And I think we probably will see that blow up like March of next year, after the holiday rush and everything goes away.
Right.
Yeah, I was looking at some alternative sites and they were talking about that too.
It's point. The joke shows that right now it's at 0.8. I want to say. So basically, for every worker that is seeking a job, there is 0.8 jobs for them in the market.
Damn.
Well, now that the bullshit has also subsided, we really do need to give Barack Obama a high five for helping to sabotage Camay's campaign. I really like how he came in there and pulled a number, had most of y'all pissed off thinking, oh, he's doing the Lord's work by campaigning for, but with most people didn't realize it, he was laying the foundation for what we got today. A whole lot of strife and bickering that went on because what people don't understand is even though Biden was his vice president, he only rocked with him optic wise. But behind the scenes, Biden never had anything to do with his administration and his policies. And by the time Biden became president, Osama really didn't like the way he was taking the course of his administration. So he pulled back and pulled away from him. You notice how Biden was getting real pissed off that Obama didn't come to his defense when everybody was clamoring for his head in his job, talking about you're incompetent, you're obsolete, you're old, you can't walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. He thought he was going to have an ally in his former president, but he didn't. And with that being said, Barack Obama also knows this is an administration that she's going to inherit. So if I didn't care for his administration and him as a president, what's going to make me really give two hoots in a shake about her? Yes, I know I have to toe the party line because I'm a former president and a part of the DNC. So yeah, I fulfill my roles and my obligations, but not on your time frame. Look at it. Look how late he's came in to try to stump her. If he was on board, he would have been stumping way back when they had the DNC convention, correct, folks? But he didn't. He's coming up now, doing what he's doing, and she's thinking she's getting help from him, but she's really not. He's literally threw a grenade up in her campaign, and I literally am appreciating him for doing this. What are your thoughts?
I largely agree. Barack is a very well manicured and
Well manicured what?
You broke up.
You fell off. You fell off. Can you come back?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Okay, welcome back. What was it you said?
Yeah, I was saying Barack is a very well thought out and manicured politician and has always been that way. To think that he would just flippantly say some off the cuff stuff, not know he's being recorded, all this shit, and not know how that's going to play. Like I feel it was intentional. It's been reported that not only does Biden have issue with Kamala and not really rock with her, but that Obama is not fond of her either. Like he wanted a open primary at the DNC convention. He doesn't believe in her as a candidate, reportedly from behind the scenes, and I think that's kind of him. Was part of his way of
Getting back.
yeah. Like, yeah, you know what? You want it? You know, you gonna earn it today. I'm gonna make a little mess for you to clean up.
You gave her an obstacle of sorts.
Yeah.
My theory is this: he's basically put her out on the line. If you go win this presidency, you gonna have to get out here and show the American public you are about something. Because all you've been doing is putting out nothing but smoke and mirrors. And when it's been time for you to step up and speak, we haven't heard from you for weeks on end. And then you'll come in and give an interview that's so blatantly lame and incomprehensible to even the even the most layman of a person who's trying to be astute at trying to understand what you're saying. You know,
But
I mean, dude, I mean, just the mere
but
fact
AL
he's making the
AL
Democratic Party look sad. Go
AL
ahead.
man, yo man, she was raised by her mother. Come from a middle class family in California.
Despite the fact she grew up in Canada primarily.
I swear, that's her answer for every question. That's her fucking
I mean,
answer.
it got to the point it became a running joke in the Black manosphere with us. I mean, like, we go every time you retort or rebut, it's gonna be the same old. Well, it was me, my mom, my sister, and this is all I mean. Come on, dude. Come on.
There you go.
Baldo could have a better rebuttal than that shit, and he had an arm that wouldn't work.
He almost lost that arm in World War II.
Isn't the Clintons back in Kamala?
So yeah, that it was a bit of a power grab. So Hillary wanted Kamala. I'm not sure if Bill was. I'm guessing Bill probably was on that same train, but Nancy and Barack wanted an open primary.
And did you hear what Stephen A. said about Obama? Is
What?
What
he called him out. He called Obama out with the misogynist talk and everything.
Yeah, like I said, that was that was a planned, orchestrated thing. Barack and his team did. Like I said, Barack knows what he's doing. He's gonna have to prove to her and the rest of the thinking people in America that she's gonna have to prove her metal, her worth, and gonna have to step up to the plate and show that she's worthy enough to be president. Because at the rate she's thinking, and like all the rest of these labor, oh, just hand it to her, just give it to her, just ascend it to the throne. No, he wasn't ascended to the throne. He had to work for it. So you gonna work for it too, just like everybody else did. And we're gonna show you for the layman that you are. You're empty vase with no flowers, no water, no nothing to it. You just clear, basically.
Yeah.
Stack of hammers, like I said. This bitch. I mean,
Yo, bitter.
bitter?
Braceville.
What's up?
Was my candy man? Say my name 3 times.
Yes. Embrace villainy. Embrace villainy. Embrace villainy.
Man, are you all right?
Who,
anyway,
me?
so
Yeah,
what's
no. I mean bitter. I'm talking bitter. Bitter, you okay?
Oh,
is something supposed to be wrong? Why are you asking me that question?
Well, sometimes sometimes I wonder, are you all right or something? Is everything okay?
Why
Is that a
would
concern? Can I be concerned for my brother?
Well, I'm just trying to figure out where it's coming from.
No, you were quiet. I was thinking, is everything okay with you?
I was just letting y'all talk.
Concern with versus the conspiracy theorists, the 10 that 10.
I know I'm being difficult on purpose, but I'm fine.
I love how you boys weird, quirky, and all shit. I'm fucked up too. So shit. Welcome to the party. We all in the same boat. Fuck it.
Anyway, I'm okay. I'm just letting y'all have y'all say. As far as I see it, Barack. I mean, first and foremost, he need to go swimming with his boyfriend and lay up with his trans wife, and leave black men alone. We don't care what he thinks. And
That's the best I've been waiting to hear. Come on, let them have it. Both barrels, goddamn it. Let's go.
And in all honesty, the only reason why they really had to trot him out there and call himself trying to finger wag really a room full of women and gay men, all right, because what no heterosexual black men up in that office, is that he knows that we are swayed towards Trump. It's either Trump or the couch. I have plenty of male friends, plenty of black men that I talk to. It's either Trump or the couch. All right, flat out. Very few are looking at Kamala. And when you listen to the black men who are agreeing with Obama, they sound, let me tell you something. You can tell just by their response, and do understand nobody asked them not one question. You can tell who grew up on welfare, food stamps in Section 8 just by how they're backing Obama. The way they talk about us as black men who don't want to vote for her. They sound like they would run and tell Massa. Have you heard these guys' replies?
Mm-hmm.
They are so full of hate and vitriol and quote unquote violence and threats. And it's like, dude, shut up. Like,
Well, hold on, babe. I got a serious question. Is that Illwood temper that they present? Is that aimed at other heterosexual men? Is that aimed at us? I'm curious.
You know what? It doesn't anger me. It makes me look at them with frustration. Like first and foremost, it's the same thing like when Obama ran his mouth. You looking around like who he talking to like that? You know, first off, who you talking to? Secondly, who are you talking to like that? You know what I'm saying? Like you not talking to me like that. Like I'm a grown ass man. I can make my own decisions. And if I don't want to participate in identity politics anymore, because as black men, as much as we have sat here for the past 5-6 years and talked about the state of the race concerning the women and us, we are at a point now where we understand as men we have to take care of ourselves, and the Democratic Party has been the most racist party. I know that Republicans they have their fair share, but the Democrat, their whole party is founded on racism. When you look at everything that they've done, especially now that they're doing with all of this DEI and whatnot, it's all about elevating idiots. Am I lying?
No, you're not.
Yeah, elevating idiots, child molesters in the classrooms, okay, giving them special treatment, getting men into women's sports and giving them more protections than the actual women who should be getting protected. That's why I laugh when Kamala Harris, like her whole platform is nothing but her major talking point is abortion and protecting women. I'm like, okay, how is women engaging in a medical procedure that could more than likely, if not kill her if it's not done properly, as they sit up here and keep talking about this black woman who drove all these hours away to get, to get a morning after pill when the clinic really should have scanned her stomach, saw that she was beyond that, gave her a proper abortion if she scheduled it, made sure that they did the job thoroughly, then sent her home. But that's not what happened, but somehow that's Trump's fault. But at any rate, you're engaging in this risky procedure that might actually make you sterile, if not kill you. All right. Now, you're ignoring the fact that you have these Venezuelans and Hondurans, South Americans who are up here who are raping and sometimes murdering these little white girls, sometimes white women, depending on their level of attraction. And you've got men in sports. I mean, how do you expect to win on a platform that is for the last 2 years has really been a thorn in the general populace's side? How do you expect to win? I'm asking the question.
By all reason, they shouldn't and they can't. Logic tells us this, but you never know, baby. You never know.
Well, if you think you're going to cheat your way into the election, that's not going to happen, at least with the popular vote. A lot of states have been tightening their laws when it comes to voting. Like you need ID. They're checking social security numbers. They're matching them with the IDs. They're making sure that there won't be any double or triple dipping. There won't be any dead people voting. There won't be any fake names voting. They're really clamping down on it. And I do not understand why, for a country that holds an election every 4 years, why don't you own your own ballot boxes? It's like your voting machines. Why don't you own them? And why do you have them in clusters? We now live in the internet age. You should be able to vote from home. Should you not? You should be able to take your ID, upload it to the voter registry. All right. Go ahead, type in all your stuff and then vote. You shouldn't have to leave your own house. Am I making this up?
Nope.
But yeah, at any rate, black men for the most part, those of us who have a monicum of common sense, we're done with the Democratic Party. I mean, I don't know why we thought we were getting something out of it anyway. It was never designed for us. It was never designed for us. Ever since the Civil Rights Movement, when they passed the Home Act, it 100% was the party of females. It was the party of females.
Hey BGS, I only have a limit of 6. I'm struggle streaming right now. My subscription to StreamYard ran out.
It's cool. I'm getting tired. I'm about to drop down.
Yeah, I gotta drop too. I gotta. In all honesty, I got an appointment. I gotta take the old man to the doctor in the morning.
All right.
Well, send my best to Pops. Hope he's okay.
Yeah, he's good.
All right.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Y'all brothers have a good night, man.
Yeah, good night, fam. I'm gonna stick around a little while. Master teacher.
Hey, what's going on? I could have left.
Oh no. Elder's privilege, you know.
No, I could have left. No, they're just busy. I was just dropping in, man, to see what's going on.
The almighty elder has entered the building.
Oh, by the way, BGS.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you're here because I was hoping, you and I, we could practice that, do a dry run of the kidnapping we got to do, because, we got to take you to Georgia eventually.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Oh, boy.
Come on, man. I may be the problem child, but, I still love my father like that. I'm always I'm a good son. I'm a good son at the end of the day.
You try to be.
I try.
Okay, so what was the subject, man? I heard a little bit of it about the Democratic parties. It's basically there is no party. I mean, when you saw Condoleezza Rice and all the other Republicans cross over to support a candidate, that means that party doesn't make much difference. Okay.
Well, it started when AB had a stream earlier, and we were talking about her supposed plan for black men and shit. It was nothing but condescending crap.
I mean, it's something. It's something where you get, where she's offering something. But the thing is that it's late. Okay, that should have been offered 4 months ago. Why, with less than 3 weeks to go before the election, you try to put something up? Doesn't make sense to me. Are people supposed to believe that you're sincere?
Good question.
That's me. And only after your polls say that you're that black men are bailing on you left and right, especially after you try to pull the CERN father with Barack Obama on black men and found out it didn't work. So now you're going to put something up on your site about giving something to black men. They asked you that question at the NABJ. Was it a month ago? You had nothing to say. All of a sudden now it's panic time. But I just want to answer Bay's question, right? Okay, about how do they expect the failed policies of the Biden administration and yada 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 to actually fly over and get reelected. They don't. That's what Obama said. That's how come they pushed Joe out, is because they're trying to say down ballot seats. They don't. They really do not expect to win the presidential nomination, the presidential election this year, for the
Do
most
you
part.
think? Do you think they're recalibrating for the midterms in 2028?
No, they're actually recalibrating for down ballot now. Okay, because the money wasn't going to be released with Biden, if Biden was still in office because he performed so well, so lackluster. And they were, remember, all the money. All of a sudden, in a week, she got all those millions of dollars. Okay, they were holding that money
Yeah.
because they didn't like what they were seeing with the Democrats, and they didn't release the money until at least they got another semi-viable candidate.
Semi-viable indeed.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is what it is, and I always give people a chance, and maybe she's better than I think she is, because you never really see a person unless they're really running like this for what they can do, and she has been, like I said, semi-viable, which is what I thought. So, but the thing is, I guess they thought if they put enough money behind her and put enough press behind her and enough propaganda behind her, they could push her over the line. But we'll see. I don't know. It still remains to be seen. But I never believed it anyway. They didn't either, man. Because I mean, I've already shown it how many ways to Sunday that most of the party didn't believe in Kamala Harris.
Yeah. Yeah. It is a big divide, and even that isn't that too with the divide that's showing causing a lack of faith in the Democratic Party also.
It is in a sense, okay, but they're trying to show a unified front, to the public. So that's how come they made Obama get his old behind out there and campaign, which he hadn't been doing. They had to drag him out. So because he wasn't doing his part. So they made him get out there and do his part. And he's only given one speech really, for the most part. The little thing on the little kind of mini press tour that he gave at the headquarters, and then the speech. He hasn't done anything except for maybe the convention thing, which they criticized him about, and then this thing. So maybe he'll be back out again.
Did you see what Stephen A. Smith said about Obama today on the show? Do you watch this podcast by chance?
I watch clips if I happen to catch him, but I don't really watch his podcast. I
Oh,
mean,
he went on.
I can't even keep up with the stuff I'm supposed to be watching, much less other people. Especially with stuff going on overseas, man. Basically, just keeping up is hard.
Oh. I was watching something today now with Israel. They talking about taking northern Gaza, taking all the land, and now the whole community is acting up. And also, Israel talking about they want to take the land on the border, the southern border.
Southern border of Lebanon, yeah. They want to. Yes, wanting to and doing it are two different things. And then at some point, I wonder. And at this point, after the hurricanes, it's going to be very difficult for the United States to get more money right now. It's
Oh,
going to
if
be
they
very.
do, it's going to be a major backlash.
Yeah, it will. Maybe after November, maybe they can get some more money if they can hold on. But it's going to be very difficult to get more money out of them, out of the United States. Um,
Now,
uh,
let me ask you, BGS. That
mm-hmm.
I was saying it. I was saying this for the longest.
Mm-hmm.
Like where I was talking about earlier in AB stream. Remember when I said when I was at work, it was a bunch of elderly people complaining about you could have all this money for Ukraine and Israel,
Yeah.
but the price of food. And I think it's the perfect storm right now with the hurricanes that happen
Yeah.
and the bad press with the FEMA thing with only $750.
Yeah.
Now, if something happens now, and we
Some.
give money,
Oh yeah, to Israel, to basically
or
um,
Ukraine, both.
yeah. Basically, the FEMA has money now is because Congress actually appropriated like $20 billion for FEMA, of which they had to spend immediately because they're already $9 billion behind. So so basically so what they told them is that okay, we'll front you 20 billion right now, and you can come back if you need more. FEMA has money appropriated now. What they're going to do with it, I don't know. But
And plus, you got those wildfires in Wyoming.
yeah. But the thing is, FEMA has money now, so um, is because they were broke. In fact, was it the guy home from Homeland Mayorgas from Homeland Security said they were broke. So a lot of people, a lot of the politicians said that Trump was lying and he was making stuff up, and no, it came out of Mayorga's mouth. In fact, I think I'll read it. I'll actually, since I got the New York Post article about it, um, and a couple other articles about it, I probably will read them on air and put them up as because my mother said the same thing. She said Trump was lying. I had to actually show her no, he's not lying. This is actually the truth. And basically, and this is something that they're trying to say that the Republicans are making it up. No, it's actually very true, and it's actually reported to by the Biden administration, Homeland Security. One of their guys actually reported it. Now they want to cover it up, but you can't cover it up. So it's going to be very difficult. So, well, like I said, it is a perfect storm. Actually, you got two hurricanes in the same spot within a couple of weeks. Um, basically, blowing over all, uncovering all the stuff where you hid money. So
Now, let me ask you this, BJS. And
mm-hmm,
I think everything happens for a reason,
mm-hmm,
and where your average voter only votes really on one or two things, and especially in our community, we vote off of emotion. Do you think where everything is happening, it's going to force people from now on to look deeper and and value their vote even more?
yeah, I think so. Right now, because people are paying attention to it. They're awake now because they have to be awake. Now, will they go back to sleep? We don't know. They probably will.
Well, if the environment stay this way, like you said, people change due to the environment.
Yeah.
Because I work at a supermarket in my area, a
Mm-hmm.
majority of the people are working poor. Uh, and a lot of the customers, my clientele is people at the mercy of a fixed income,
Mm-hmm.
and now I hear them talking about Ukraine, Israel, and it
Mm-hmm.
brought up the hurricanes and all this stuff. Now
Mm-hmm.
they're focused on all this stuff because they have no choice.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, because it's hitting them in the pocket. I mean, they spend so much money in Ukraine. I mean, talk about $20 billion. That's a lot of money. I mean, you know how many problems you could have solved with $20 billion. I mean, hell, you could have. They're still talking about the Flint water crisis. You could have solved it. You could have just took a tenth of that, man, in 1% of that, and actually solved the Flint water crisis. They didn't do that. So.
Or especially where I work at, they could have gave money these grants like they usually do. Like the city I
Mm-hmm.
work in, the old water infrastructure is totally decimated. We
Mm-hmm.
sell so much bottled water. It's a
Mm-hmm.
shame because the city's water is totally crap. We
Yeah.
sell like 2 trailers of bottled water a day,
Yeah.
24 packs.
They could have had grants and actually given people water filters to filter the water like they did. They did that in Flint after people's hair was falling out. But there's ways to do it. In fact, they do that. There's a guy down in Guatemala. He does that to where he can. They actually sell. Actually, they really sell. They used to sell them. So water. The big like 5 gallon water jugs with filters on it for like $5 to $10. In fact, I years ago I donated a bunch of money to to people because they actually sell it, give them to people in the developing countries like Africa and Latin America. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do, but selling bottled water is how people make profits. So, but this is in a capitalist country, man. So you got to expect it. So nothing's perfect.
Yeah, yeah. Because this started. Oh my God, in Newark, like 5 years ago. That the what's up,
Hmm.
Andre? The schools, the filters and the water lines are so out of date,
Right.
and it was so much lead. And now they're just getting to it. Like 2 years ago, they start working on the lines, replacing the old lead water pipes.
You know, okay. Obama had talked about this, and it's something Obama talked about, even though he's a good soldier. He doesn't bring it up a lot. He had talked about cutting the military budget and actually put more money into shovel ready projects to actually rebuild the infrastructure. Um, and they prefer to put the money into the military. You know, they gave the military more money instead of putting the money into the people, putting people to work and rebuilding infrastructure. Is what it is, and it's on both sides. It's not just them. Okay, it's not just the Democrats. So like I said, that's why I'm black, but I'm jaded, man, because I've seen this shit so much, man. I just sometimes just get tired of talking about it. So it's
Tired
not.
of getting through their cement heads.
I mean, the thing is that one, people are so how can I say it, socialized to accept this shit. So basically, they don't even believe they have power to change anything. So, and then and the other thing, they don't even want to look at it, okay, because they'd rather sit on the phones and talk about. I mean, talking about bitches and talking about women, talking about relationships is fine, okay. Talk about you trying to go out and get your money and stuff like that. That's also fine. The thing is there's real problems that people don't want to talk about. Okay, like people complain about the price of housing be too high. I said, yeah, if your supply is low, um, if your supply is low, the price of housing is going to go up. It's going to be high, and they have slowed down building of homes and building of housing for people to keep up with population. They stopped doing that, man, 30 years ago. Because it used to be the price of your dwelling was pretty close to the price of in sync of what you earned. Okay, what your income is, right? In fact, I think Mr. Z showed a chart. Okay, um, now it's expanded to like maybe 5 or 10 times what it was back, let's say in the early '70s. Okay, so what you paid just for shelter is way out of whack. It's way out of whack with the rest of the world. The rest of the world doesn't deal with this problem, but the United States uses the homes and dwellings to make money. Okay, so, um, which the economists call rent seeking. Rent seeking, basically. In other words, you will own nothing and be happy, so they can charge what they want. You know, which is like in New York City, it's egregious, man. People paying what $3,000-4,000 for 500 square foot 1 bedroom or something like that, man. It's just
Oh,
insane.
oh, the rent in the city is ridiculous.
Yeah,
And even here where I'm living, a studio apartment that is really the size of a one bedroom is like 2,100 where I live at.
yeah. It's insane. It's insane. It makes no sense, but nobody wants to solve the problem. Is because if you solve the problem, the banks will get hit. So so they decided they wanted to save the banks.
So
So
this is basically first world problems.
this is first world, also capitalism, problems of capitalism. But people blame each other instead of trying to fix the underlying problems. It's like millennials waiting for their parents to die so they can take their house, instead of changing the system to where you can actually make homes and dwellings affordable.
Yeah, that's basically the sentiment I be hearing online.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like how a lot of Gen Xers blame the boomers. Now we're getting a taste of our own medicine. The millennials and
Yeah,
Gen
yeah,
Zers.
yeah, y'all the new old Negroes.
Yeah, oh yeah. They just say, well, "Get out the way." Ugh.
Yeah, yeah, hurry up and die. That's really what they're saying. Now, I said, man, they should fund retirement for the boomers, man, in other countries, and just and make up little villages for them, like in Latin America or in Africa, someplace where they got a hospital and medical care and have like little retirement villages funded by the United States. It'd be cheaper than doing it here, and
Oh,
then
like
let the
how they have in Florida, but move it
yeah
to another country.
yeah just move to another country where it's cheaper. It's where the wages are lower and you get the same kind of service that you can get here for what 20 cents on the dollar, and then the balance can go to um, letting Gen X and millennials have the jobs and have the homes and stuff like that. Open up space. That would make more sense, but you know, it's too much like right.
Now, let me. You mentioned capitalism.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think? Uh, I honestly think no matter who gets in office,
Mm-hmm.
the proverbial shit is going to hit the fan. Do you think this going to cause the population to take a different look at how everything runs compared, like with
Uh,
capitalism?
when you go broke, you look at everything, right? 'Cause you don't look at your bills and stuff like that. When you make a whole bunch of money, also when you start going broke, that's what happens. You start looking at everything. That's what's gonna happen. And the shit has already hit the fan. Okay, we just haven't got splattered by it yet. So
Yeah,
basically, the bomb's already gone off. Just the blast hasn't hit you. I mean, you in the military, you know how that works, right?
yeah.
You see the flash, just the shock wave hasn't hit you. You just haven't got hit by the shock wave yet.
Well, if the like, I got my bottle of Johnny Walker Black and Newports. If they say, because where I live at is actually ground zero
Okay.
for if a nuclear strike would hit to get
Yeah.
the most effective devastation in New York area. It's
Yeah.
actually 5 blocks from where I'm at. I bring out my lawn chair,
Hmm.
have my Newports, and just guzzle down some Johnny Walker Black. Like, just take me away.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I realize I'm too old, man. I don't want to live through this crap, man. If shit goes off like that, man, just take me out early. I'm gonna die anyway, So in the aftermath. So why suffer?
Yeah. Oh, oh God. Name, are you still there?
He's listening.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
listening.
Yeah,
Thought I
oh.
was
yeah.
playing NFL Street while listening to y'all.
NFL.
NFL Street. So I'm full of shenanigans.
Yeah, I was playing Call of Duty for a moment, but I had stopped.
I haven't
Yeah.
played Call of Duty, man, in about 15 years.
That's
I ain't
my
never used.
stress
Oh,
relief.
you always play? You played Call of Duty before BTS?
Yeah, way back when, man. Call of Duty goes back to the 90s, man. Call of Duty 1
Yeah,
is, I think, Call of Duty 1 is like 98, 97, 98.
All right. That was your first ever FPS, first person shooter?
My
What
first,
system?
my first person shooter was actually Doom
Oh, on
in
PC?
94, 95, something like that. Yeah,
PC.
That,
PC.
yeah. That and Wolfenstein were my first ever first person shooters.
Yeah,
All right, all right. All right, all right. I knew
That
I
that's
liked
my
you.
that,
I knew I
that's my
liked you for
stress
a reason.
relief.
so what?
That's my stress relief. I get a couple of matches in and call it a
Yeah,
day.
yeah. Call of Duty and Medal of Honor.
Uh, oh yeah, whatever happened to Medal of Honor, that was a good.
Yeah,
Me, it's mostly my thing is like it's either WWE, UFC, or sports games. I don't really play a lot of first person shooters like that. So for me, it's either it's NFL Street or NBA Street, just because of the hijinks involved. And I remember when on my PS4 there was a game called Mutant Football League
mm, yeah.
where it's It's violence meets football, and it's just comedic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot of fun just playing that game, especially when you get to destroy, take out as many players as possible. Because it's mostly because it's werewolves, mutants, aliens, and the guy who did the voice for NBA Live for NBA
Mm-hmm.
Jam is in the game. He does a commentary, and it's just absolute ridiculousness. It's absurdity over the top. So yeah.
Hey, BGS, I got this for you.
What's
Oh,
that?
wait, let me take this off. Uh, let me move it up a little bit.
Capturing what
Wait.
it is right here. So
That's
here's the
50.
actual article.
Mm-hmm.
For everyone that wants to read it, because you're gonna have to read this article to understand where this shit came from. The premise reads as follows: published April 1st, 2011, from the University of Michigan. The first national study of the prevalence of multiple partner fertility shows that 28% of all U.S. women with two or more children have them by more than one man. The
Mm-hmm.
first national study stated this. Now, multiple partner fertility is an important part of contemporary American life and a key component to the net disadvantage that many poor and uneducated women face every day. Dory has analyzed data on 4,000 U.S. women who were interviewed more than 20 times over a period of 27 years as part of the National Longitudinal Study of Youth. The data included detail on individual men in each household, capturing what demographics call relationship churning for non residential relationships. Dory has triangulated information from mother and child reports to establish common paternity. She found that having children by different fathers was more common among minority women, with 59% of African American mothers, 35% of Hispanic mothers, and 22% of white moms reporting multiple partner fertility. Women who were not living with a man when they gave birth and those with low income and less education were also more likely to have children by different men. She also found that multiple partner fertility is surprisingly common at all levels of income and education and is frequently tied to marriage and divorce rather than just single parenthood. I was a year into the project before I realized that my mother was one of these women, Doria said. We tend to think of women with multiple partner fertility as being only poor single women with little education and money. But
Mm-hmm.
in fact, at some point, most were married and working and going to school and doing all the things you're supposed to do to live the American dream. Family researchers first began studying multiple partner fertility by exploring how men swap families after having a child with a new partner or reduce their financial and physical supported involvement with non residential biological children when their ex partners live with or marry someone new. Raising children who have different fathers is a major factor in the intergenerational transmission of disadvantage. Juggling all the different needs and demands of fathers in at least two households, four or more pairs of grandparents, and two or more children creates a huge set of chronic stressors that families must deal with for decades. She received support for the study from the National Science Foundation and the National Institute of Child Health and Development, from the Center of Research on Diverse Family Contexts, and the Joan Huber and William Form Research Fund. Now, that's what the article says. My large Nicole Michelle, my dog, I was waiting on you. Please get up here.
Yeah.
Good
Good
morning.
morning. How are you this morning?
I see you snatching edges. Oh my goodness. What's going
Did you hear how
on?
long you been here? Did you hear me reading the article?
Yes.
Now, Negro, you know I am one of the staunchest defenders of women that exists. But what the fuck? Nicole, the manosphere is right. They're right on this. Because get this. You know who has the greatest chance of having multiple children by multiple different women?
Ha.
Prison inmates
Ooh.
or formerly incarcerated males. They have a 26% chance. If you are a
I came upon that today because I was listening to something else, and the bag lady,
Mm.
she admitted that she ruined her. She finally confessed. I'm going to record that, rip that tomorrow night.
Nicole Michelle admitted something.
Yeah, she ruined her first marriage, and like these past few weeks with the thing I played, they turning around like it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, the environment is changing all of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they coming to the confessional, huh? Coming to
Yeah.
the coming to the seat of Saint Kevin, huh? And confessing their sins, huh? I remember they tried to cuss me out years ago. They tried to attack me, and her and her husband tried to attack me years ago because I critiqued one of her videos.
Wow.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I get in trouble like that all the time by critiquing a video, and they really. I don't know why people take exception to when I say something.
Well, they said, "Oh, Kevin
Oh,
Samuels was right, this and that." Like, I got to listen to the other one with the whole thing with Nicole Michelle because Pink Pill she came in too, giving her
Mm.
2 cents. So, yeah,
Yeah, I remember that study a long time ago where I think 57, 58% of black women, uh, well, actually, it was 67% of black women with more than one child
Hmm.
had them by multiple partners. It was 67%. It wasn't 58, 59%. It was 67%.
Wow.
I have to go back and find it.
yeah. It's funny because I've been listening for the past 3 years. What's going on with the notifications?
Hmm. Okay. I don't know. Oh, okay. Oh, you didn't get a notification. That's just YouTube, man. So I shared it. So she's probably gonna
Well,
get a bump.
well, speaking about that, like BGS, I hit the bell with everybody
Yeah.
that
Hmm.
I constantly listen to,
Mm-hmm.
and I get half of the notifications.
Mm-hmm.
I will constantly have to unsubscribe and resubscribe,
Mm-hmm.
and I be looking in my YouTube studio. I'm only at 568,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll take like 4 or 5 subscribers from me,
Yeah.
and then 4 days later it put it back on.
Yeah. Yeah. They do that. They're trying to slow you down as far as progressing. Yeah, that happens to me all the time, man. Basically, I grow if I grow 100 subscribers a month, I'm lucky right now.
Wow.
So and and that's what they report. Actually, they probably take more than that. That's the net of what you gain plus what they taken away.
That's wow.
Yeah, it
That
is. Yeah, it's foul, but it is what it is, man. That's just that's the game. Okay, what do you say? Can't don't hate the player, hate the game. So it is
yeah.
what it is.
Don't play the game. Learn how to play the game. Don't let the game play you. As someone said as well.
Yeah, it is what it is. So you have to deal with the game as it stands.
Adapt to it. Either you adapt or
Wow.
I sometimes say this myself. Like if the rules aren't meant for you to win, cheat.
Yeah, some people do. Some people do.
Sometimes you got to fight dirty and hell naked. Sometimes.
And some people buy subscribers and buy views and shit like that
Yeah.
to get on. So
Like I totally given up on Charles Faulkner. It's like I unsubscribe and subscribe to him 1,000 freaking times, and I always miss his live streams. Like I have to
yeah,
hit the
I
replay.
always tell Charles you need a consistent time. That's why I come I pick. Normally I pick 2 o'clock. So even if people don't get my notification, they'll look for me at a certain time.
Right.
Yeah, I've noticed that too, brothers. Sometimes I've noticed and this is a separate deal, but I've noticed sometimes that if you're a content creator yourself, right? And
Mm-hmm.
let's
Yeah.
say I'm subscribed to you or I'm subscribed to some other content creator, I've noticed sometimes that I've went to their page after I've subscribed, and then I'll be miraculously now unsubscribed. Me and
Mm-hmm.
Chaos had this problem, and we had to do a little test on it.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Man, when you subscribe to me, they unsubscribe me to you."
Mm-hmm.
And we had to go back and do that, like what Detroit was saying about the notifications. I had to go back and do that same thing. I had to subscribe to him and hit the bell again and
Mm-hmm.
unsubscribe for it to even go through. And I
Mm-hmm.
thought it was, I thought it was just a glitch, but we
Mm-hmm.
noticed it was happening the same way to both of our channels.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't know what Charles Faulkner did to YouTube, but I
He,
can
he,
never catch it. He must have
he,
pissed somebody off.
he's part of us. That's all it is. He's just you're on a list. So if you're on that list, then you
Hmm.
get the list treatment.
And Charles don't care because he knows how to overcome that shit. Remember, he's how many generations of military is he? Was he fourth
4.
generation?
Yeah.
So he knows how to overcome this. Let's not forget Charlie Senior, Charles Senior. He's a Marine. They don't plan. They improvise.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just the fact that I want to support the content that I subscribe to, and the people want to listen to. Like
Naturally.
yeah, because uh, Black Ram had a problem with that. I had to unsubscribe to him plenty of times. It's like, well, a lot of people I'm subscribed to is getting ridiculous.
There are people I'm subscribed to. I don't get the notification with. That's why I make. But fortunately, one of my one of the one of Snowman's associates. I mean, I'm subscribed to them, but I don't get the notification like I'm supposed to. But fortunately, he sends me sends me the link since I keep in touch with him through Facebook. So I mean, once I get the notification, I get once I get the attachment sent to me on Messenger, I click it. I'm there, right there for him. And they're talking about football here. They're talking about football. They're talking about the past games of this week, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think like we just said earlier, like once you're in that bad sports lobby, like kind of like Grand Theft Auto 5, like if you get the bad sports lobby, once they throw you in there with that, then it's all hands off, right?
Yeah.
Bad sports lobby.
Yeah. I don't know if you ever played Grand Theft Auto 5, but in Grand Theft Auto 5, if the bad sports lobby is kind of like if you cheat or
cheat. Okay.
yeah,
Oh
if
yeah,
you're
that's what they put everybody who got caught cheating. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
Oh, so it's a room full of modders.
Yeah, they put you on the list, huh?
yeah, they put you on the list, right? Not necessarily in the terms of just suppose like we're cheating or anything like that, because we're obviously not doing that, right? But like it's like a bad sports, it's like a list, like BGS says, a list.
So what? All the cheaters just play with the cheaters, or they can't play at all?
No, they play bad sports lobby is not only is it for cheaters, but it's for it's for team killers, cheaters, and also it's one other thing. The modders, of course, they got the modders in there, and they've got another one where you just like if you just randomly just killing people for no reason, just constantly just constantly killing people,
Bad actors, huh?
yeah, they kind of like they throw you in there, put a dunce hat on your head, you get this big old dunce hat, and then they put you in there for like a certain amount of weeks, and if you don't cheat or whatever, then they throw you back in the regular deal. But it's kind of like the bad sports lobby, you know what I'm saying? I just liken it to that, But in
So
the
it's
terms,
basically detention.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? like the Breakfast Club, right? Not the one on TV, not the one on the radio, but like the Breakfast Club, you on detention.
The '80s movie, the '80s cult classic movie.
Oh.
I remember that. And there's some cat. I mean, I remember what was it? Had a conversation with a friend, and they were like, they admitted that like Molly Ringwald was their childhood crush. Is that a thing for redheads? When you mentioned that movie.
ABGS.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think he's preoccupied with something.
Oh yeah, what's up?
Now I have a question. This is world politics, and I was listening to you the other day, and you said that the U.S. is no way in hell we're gonna get into World War III, but it's these other podcasts I'll be listening to, and it's like the general consensus. I don't know if it's fake news propaganda being put out, but the general consensus who I've been listening to is saying before November 6th that the small country going to attack Iran and try to do major damage. Do you?
They're negotiating that right now. In fact, Iran was talking with the with the with the other Arab countries about what would be an appropriate targets for the small country to hit. So it's going to be measured. Evidently, it's going to be measured if they do it at all, because basically the DOD has told the small country if they go after Iran, they're on their own.
Well, if you look at those tankers, right? If you think it's about the tanker, right, the logistics of it, if they're going to go over there and try to do that, and then those Arabian countries that they have to fly over to actually get that done, they don't have enough tankers to support that. So it would be very hard for them to be able to do it. And they're going to need some ECM support as well, because Iran, believe it or not, has one hell of an anti-air system in their country. And it would be very hard for them to do without support from us to be able to support them with the tankers, because they, to 1,000 miles there, 1,000 miles back, they're going to have to be able to still bring those planes home, even if they did get a one-way trip without having to go over those countries. They're going to have to go around them, because there's no way that they could be able to do that without having tanker support. And they don't have enough tankers to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So is this based?
I mean, you don't. I mean, you don't need much, okay? Especially if you're going to use the weapons they're thinking about using. You don't need much. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but the thing is that uh, what will you hit that's going to provoke Iran into doing something? And the thing is that they're telling the country that if you do provoke Iran into doing something, we're not going to be there to protect you anymore. Like the last time, I think uh, the first time they spent like almost $2 billion actually covering, uh, covering the first strike. Okay, the last strike, I think they sent up 12 missiles. In other words, they didn't do very much. So,
Well, I was thinking what they would, if you just was thinking about targets, I would be thinking that they're going to want to go after their enrichment facilities, which are heavily bunkered underground. I
okay,
would
yeah,
think they're probably
they
go after them.
they could do that, but thing is, Iran told you if you do that, two things they're going to do: they're going to shut down the Strait of Hormuz. Number one, number two, Iran has about three or 4,000 ballistic missiles. So you just saw 200, and they will target all your power stations, okay, and all your transmission lines in your neighborhoods if you do that. So in other words, they've warned you but those, like 90% of those 180 missiles got through.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
but
Iran went light because Iran has the capability of volleying
uh,
15,000 rockets at the same time.
yes, they do.
So is
And
this
Yeah,
basically
you saw
is
that
this
last. You saw that last time with the last major attack, where they actually was hitting some of their intelligence agency places, and they
they
also
were.
hit some of the airfields as
Yeah,
well.
they did. They did. In fact, they said they blew up some F-35. So, but Israel doesn't let much of that stuff out. I mean, the small country doesn't let much of that stuff out. But the thing is that
Very true.
I mean,
well,
Moran
they had
did.
the videos on Telegram.
Yeah, they did. Well, yeah, they did. They had. They showed you like 30,
They've been
40
suppressing it.
strikes coming in one spot, huh?
They've been suppressing those videos, but you're absolutely correct. They've been suppressing those videos because and just looking at the CRAM and different the shield that they have with these missiles. Well, remember, Raytheon, all these contractors, they have a vested interest in selling these munitions to them. And
Okay,
over time, you just look at those rockets and some of the ballistic stuff that
okay.
they have,
Okay,
provided.
okay. The same systems that they're going to use in that small country, the same systems they use in Ukraine. Those are the ones that got blown up by those missiles. So how are they going to be effective this time when there's more of them coming at you?
That's what I mean. Like, it's over time, it's attrition at this point because, think
Okay.
about it. Those rockets and ballistic missiles that they're using
It,
are way cheaper, especially the drone attacks
no,
that they've been
no,
using.
you didn't hear me the first time, okay? The same systems they use, they could talk about shipping over there, or the same systems they use in Ukraine. Those systems couldn't stop those missiles coming in Ukraine. How are they going to stop them over here especially when there's more of them?
That's right. That's what I mean by the attrition. So as they take them out, there will be more missiles that will get in, not less.
Okay, okay. Then, in other words, and this is something that's been said, those systems are not designed to stop those particular missiles and hypersonics. They can't stop them. Okay, there's no system designed on the planet that will stop those things. Okay, the Patriots and the others are actually designed to stop slower moving rockets and stuff like that. Okay, just like the one that the Yemen shot. They only shot one. Okay, they could not shoot that one down. That was just they just shot one, not a whole bunch. One. They couldn't stop it. How about 1,000 of those coming in at the same time?
Yeah, the
And
hypersonic is way different. You're right, brother. You know, it's so hard for even to detect those. And then with the other drone systems where they have to even just mess up the radar, because you gotta imagine, you send those drones, you send all those dumb rockets, and you send the drones, then you got ballistic missiles, you got hypersonic missiles mixed in with them. You're gonna overload the radar
Okay.
that's not going to be able to take them out.
They
a
can't
Van
take
Jones.
them out anyway. Okay,
Mm.
they don't need no dummies. Okay, there's nothing designed to shoot those things down anyway. Especially the ones with the dual systems where they change direction. Okay,
I was
they,
BGS. I was about to say that I got the video.
mm-hmm.
They were showing it. You show with the Iron Dome. They were shooting
Yeah, and missing.
their stuff, and and those missiles turned direction
Yes,
and zoomed right down. I'm
yeah,
like, oh
yeah,
shoot.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
they go
and
into terminal. They go into terminal velocity at that point, and that's typically, like I said, versus a dumb situation versus a actual where you actually be able to evade. When you got evasion plus hypersonic, plus they're given more targets because the more targets in the air is
and
going to confuse even still. It's still going to confuse, and some of those dumb things are going to get in even more so
yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah. Okay, all right.
Oh no, no, no. Let it go. Let it
Okay,
go.
I'll
It's
let
all
it
right. It's
go.
all
Yeah, I've explained it like 3 times, but I'll let it go.
right. Nah.
Basically, a smoothie. Andreev, he actually explained it because he's an expert. Okay, he actually explained it. He said him and Ritter said there's no system designed to bring those things down. Right. In other words, that's how come the Houthis can hold off um, those aircraft carriers that have
Yeah.
to stay 300-400 miles away is because they don't have anything to bring those things down.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not.
the
It's
Houthis
nothing.
been doing a lot of stuff, man. Did you see that one BGS where they actually hit that British tanker with
Yeah,
that?
yeah, and
You see that?
those are just regular ballistics. Those are not the special ones. Okay.
No, well, I was
They
speaking
fired
on the one that
discriminators out there.
specifically was the drone. It was a actual
Yeah. It,
a
it,
sea based.
a sea drone, basically a sea
Yeah,
drone was basically a boat,
right. It was a
basically
boat.
a boat that's slightly submerged. That's a drone that they got. Okay, they also have. I don't know if they have them. China gave it to them, but they also have drone subs with missiles,
Well, yeah, that
which
surface
which
vessel that they had was so cheap.
which Ukraine actually used against the Russians. Okay, that targeted a couple of Russian a couple of Russian naval vessels. So
Yikes.
So,
basically,
do you think that that's going to like depending on a lot of these because they got a lot of the Houthis, they got of course Hamas and the rest of their guard.
uh
Do
huh.
you think that overall, do you think if BRICS really came together that they could take out the small country?
If BRICS came together, they could take out the small countries.
Mm, uh,
Okay, I don't get what you mean. Talking about all the BRICS.
yeah.
I mean, what you talking about is a military for because BRICS is not a military.
No, what I'm
Uh,
saying, the BRICS. What I'm saying is the not necessarily the
no,
military.
no, make it plain, man. Just say make it plain. Don't have to couch it and say what do you mean, so I can
What I
understand you.
mean is if Iran, if Russia and China, the allies that they got going, if they were able to come together, go ahead and supply Iran with logistics
They
and
already have. They already have. Basically, Russia just shipped the S400s to Iran what a month ago. And where do you think they get the hypersonic technology? Where do you think they're getting it from?
well, of course they getting it from Russia.
They're getting it from Russia and China. Okay, Russia. Putin just made a visit to Russia. Putin just made a visit to Iran a week ago. Okay, Xi's already pledged support for Iran. They Iran has been their partner since 2003. So over 20 years, Iran's been in the pocket of their big brothers. So it is what it is. But the thing is, they haven't
Yeah,
they never formally announced it, but they formally announced it by maybe a week ago, a couple of weeks ago. So in other words, some of the United States is not getting into it because if you mess with Iran, you got to mess with their big brothers too.
Ooh.
That's what I was.
You
That's
don't
what I
want to
was
go there.
saying. Yeah, they're gonna all go together.
Yeah, they've been together, and um, that's like Iran hasn't really been attacked. Why do you think Biden backed down? Not Biden, but Trump backed down when they shot down that drone over Iran, and
Hey,
and he
so
wanted to do something. It's because they know that if you go after them, you have to go after the other two. Go ahead.
do you remember when Trump was in office and they killed General Soleimani? I think that was his name.
Yeah, yeah.
Through the back channels, we gave him the coordinates to one of our um, bases
Basic.
that
Yeah,
weren't that manned.
yeah.
So, do you think that's what's going to happen with Iran? They're just going to like here attack this and like save face.
Basically, MBS is already talking to Iran about what would be an acceptable response for them.
So, do you
Because
think it will happen before November 5th or after?
I have no clue. It's their timing. So, um, if I were the small country, I would actually do it after. If I were them, because you try to do it before, whatever little money that you thought you were going to get from the United States, that's going to dry up and blow away like dry leaves.
Yeah.
And then with the UN, probably go ahead and go and put the sanctions on them then, because then, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I did that. I don't know what these people are on, but thing is, bursting through running a tank through into a UN compound, telling them to get the hell out. That's not a good look. But
Never was.
like I said, I have no idea what these people are on right now because none of the stuff that they do makes sense. Because basically, was it almost what 750,000 Israelis have already left Israel because of the danger. Okay, your GDP is down 50%.
Because so many people have been called up. So
People
many
called.
reservists have been
Some
called up
people
and whatnot.
called up. Some people have left. Some people in your tourism business is dried up to nothing. Okay, there's
Mm-hmm.
no trade with you because some countries have put sanctions on you. Okay,
Yeah.
and then
Also,
you and it,
the northern territory with Lebanon. After that, they've actually evacuated their whole northern. They have to
they have
because
to because Iraq is. What I'm saying is, as far as
yeah,
the economy is concerned, okay, most of your ports are dry because nobody wants to come into that war zone to do any kind of trade. So your
Yeah.
economy is drying up,
Yeah.
and then you fighting what 3 wars at the same time. Okay.
Two
that's the
fronts.
recipe for defeat for sure.
Yeah, well, you know what? Lewis can tell you we've been scratching our heads for the last 3 years because none of this stuff makes sense. None of this
I
stuff
mean,
makes sense. Okay, I mean no logical sense, and as they do it and they fail with it, it makes even less sense. So, which is why, uh, which is why a lot of these people, a lot of voters are probably, I don't even know why. I know they're lying with the polls because there's no way this woman should even be even close to winning this election. Not even close. So either the American people are that stupid and that ignorant, or the press is lying. So I prefer to believe that the press is lying.
Master Teacher, you said it yourself before, 4 years ago. America deserves the leaders it gets.
I mean, if the choice is this blatant, okay, that you
Mm-hmm.
can see it, okay. I mean, the last thing is the FEMA thing, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
um, and it's funny that I have to show people in print, okay, because they say everything about Trump that he's lying about. I have to show people in print. No, he's not. So there it is right there. Because I had to do that, Andre, a couple of nights ago. Okay, he said. He said that somebody sent him a thing that what Trump was lying about it. Right now, I pulled it up. So I pulled it right there. No, it's right there. Okay,
Yeah.
FEMA was broke. Okay, they're not broke now because Mayorkas complained about it that they were broke, and then the Congress had made it an emergency. Um, what is it? I
The
forget what it.
emergency session, right? They had to
Yeah,
bring
emergency
everybody
session.
back.
They give them $20 billion. Had to bring everybody back. Yeah.
$20 billion? Wow. 20 billion. Excuse me. Here, on a little bit.
So yeah.
I'm,
So,
I'm, I'm
But
just.
BGS, now
mm,
correct me if I'm wrong. Now you more politically astute than me, brother. But I'm gonna
uh
ask you this question. Now,
huh.
when it comes down to war declarations and things of this nature,
Mm-hmm.
Aren't we supposed to be able to vote on these things?
Not really. Congress, but basically, that's why you have a representative government. Um, your representatives are supposed to vote on it. I mean, but basically, you haven't fought a declared war in since World War II for the most part. Okay. I think the last declared war yes you fought was 9/11, where Congress actually did come in and vote on it. That's your last declared war.
And that's the only time where you can actually have Geneva conventions and things of that nature when it's actually clear.
It can be a police action and all that kind of stuff. Anytime you use military force, the Geneva Convention is actually supposed to be in order.
Well, that's what I was saying, because remember back in Vietnam when they
Mm-hmm.
was actually keeping our POWs longer than they were supposed to and was not reporting it,
Mm-hmm.
the North Vietnamese was like, well, look, y'all never declared war, so y'all are criminals. We're looking at you as war criminals.
Was North Vietnam a signatory to the Geneva Convention?
No, it wasn't.
No, it was not.
Okay.
But they were working propaganda, and that's what
Okay.
they want.
So, in other words, are they bound by something they never signed on to?
No, they're not.
No, they were not.
That's why. Okay. Well,
The
Gotcha.
only reason they
we're
would do
supposed to
so
be.
is as an act of good faith and
Yeah.
virtue signaling.
Yeah.
I would know. I mean,
Makes sense.
you bring up because you're talking about similar things with other rebel groups who were involved in wars against government.
Yeah. They're not signatory.
Yeah, I saw some. There was something similar like that in Eritrea as well as in Ethiopia. You know, when the armed struggle and the civil war that was going on side by side, and but they had their own ulterior motives for adhering to Geneva Convention despite not being signatories to it.
Well, it makes sense because it's the propaganda war, right? Because they had said specifically, they said, well, look, we may not be able to beat you all the way here, but we'll beat you in your country with the politics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah, I mean, I remember. Yeah, I always wondered whatever happened to Semper Fidelis, if he's still around, because we used to get some great conversations, because we talked about there was a History Channel documentary about the art of war by Sun Tzu,
Mm-hmm.
and they brought up how war is an art of you had they talked about the Vietnam War, the Tet Offensive in the Vietnam War as one example of one particular chapter about war, like how, or it summed up basically what Walter Cronkite said: the Vietnam War was lost in America's living rooms,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. If you remember that phrase.
Yeah.
And yeah, and was it during the negotiation? An army general came up, looked at was conversing with his North Vietnamese counterpart. Said, we won a lot more battles than you do. I said, yes, but we won the war because you guys were fighting a war of attrition. We weren't. You were using conventional warfare against somebody who was fighting you unconventional or asymmetric.
Well, Vietnam, all the colonizing powers that have tried to take that area over during the time of their existence, no one has won. No one.
Yeah, and it's not just Vietnam, by the way. Remember, Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia were were under French rule as French Indochina.
That's why I'm speaking on the French specifically. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. My bad.
They ran the French up out of there.
Yeah.
And they still speak French to this day, if you can believe that. In Vietnam, they still speak French.
Yeah.
In Cambodia, they still speak French.
Because it's those languages become how you do trade.
Lingua franca, or like how
Yeah.
how it is like in parts of West Africa with French.
Like in Taiwan, they still speak. In Hong Kong and Taiwan, they still speak English.
They speak English and they also speak
Chinese. Yeah.
I wonder if they speak but specifically
Mandarin.
Mandarin. I wonder if they also speak Cantonese in parts of Taiwan, because in Hong Kong they primarily speak Cantonese. And Singapore, in Malaysia, Indonesia, we have Chinese ethnicity. We have Chinese minorities. Many of them speak Cantonese or
What was the
Mandarin.
place, Neymar? What was the place in China where they got the exclusive financial zone besides Hong Kong? I know they had, the British gave it up right on their treaty or whatever, but they have another place in China. I think the Portuguese
Oh, you're talking about Macau. Macau, it's called.
yeah, where they got all casinos and all that.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
that's Macau. That's Macau. They speak Portuguese there.
Is that
And a
not the
lot.
only mutual exclusive zone that the Chinese basically let everybody else work on besides?
Yeah, they allowed because remember, it was like in the fallout of the Boxer Revolution, I believe, that the British got Hong Kong, but Macau was given to the Portuguese like in the 17th century, and you've had the Macau there since up until they handed it over back in '97, months prior to Hong Kong's handover. But the thing is, there's a lot of folks who live in Macau are ethnic Chinese, but they're actually Chinese Portuguese mix, and a lot of them are Portuguese nationals, if you can believe that. And many of them also spent times in places like Hong Kong as well. They would go back and forth between Macau and Hong Kong. In fact, I remember there was a British journalist, an anchor woman, who worked for the BBC and later for CNN, who was a native of Hong Kong, but her family might have been Macau Portuguese in origin. Her name was Veronica Pedrosa. She used to talk about, Macau, the Sino-Portuguese community there in Macau.
I did a little research on that, man, and I saw that their gambling revenue there is like miles above even Vegas.
Just like
Ridiculous.
Monaco. Have you ever heard of Monte Carlo, Monaco, in Europe? And that's exclusive as hell. And their gambling is insane. But Macau, yeah, it's big, it's legal. That's the only place where you can do legalized gambling in Macau.
Yeah.
They got them big ass casinos. I mean, I would not want to go there because I'd get sensory overload just being over there.
So Hong Kong doesn't have casinos?
No, Hong Kong was a financial hub.
It was banking.
It was banking mostly.
Yeah, British banking, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, they would do their business in Hong Kong, but they would have their play over in Macau.
Or go to Bangkok and gamble.
I'm sorry, when you said Bangkok, I couldn't help it.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they call it Bang. That's why they call it Bangkok, right?
Instead of Bangkok. I've actually crossed paths with an LB once, and that was up here, and we had an interesting conversation because this individual was kind of like surprised that an African would know anything about that. But hey, I do my research. I'm worldly like that. I like to read. And did I ever tell you that one of the reasons I'm so open to learning is because I used to read a lot of National Geographic magazine. I learned a lot from that. Really insightful stuff I learned from that.
What about Singapore, man? Because it seems like Singapore, they got their own little flavor of what they do. Yeah. What do you think about Singapore? Because I've seen there's a lot of Western influence there, right?
Yeah,
there's a lot of Western and Eastern influence there.
They did it on purpose because Singapore used to be run by the British.
They were originally part of Malaysia, and then they eventually managed to secede, and the Malaysians are still kicking themselves about it. Yeah. God damn it. And the majority of the folks, and the majority of the folks in Singapore are ethnic Chinese. Interesting folks there, but they're very strict. They're known as the most polite people there, but they'd like to keep things very clean. So look around and find out. You remember that white boy back in '94?
Yeah, they came. When they came,
they're almost like the Japanese, the way they run their country.
Oh man, you should.
You better not do no drug smuggling. I saw a couple of locked up abroads, and I saw that Singapore what they did them people just for bringing in a little bit of drugs. Man, they about to put them on death penalty.
Yeah, they don't play. In fact, some Africans did try to transport drugs and did wind up murked, wind up on the death penalty.
And they're not the only ones. In Thailand, you get the death
Yeah,
penalty
yeah.
for that shit, especially
They
if
don't play.
they don't play in the
Yeah.
Arab world. You get that as well in certain cases. I'm not fucking around with that shit.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, basically, Thailand is not a democracy. It's actually a kingdom.
An absolute,
But
it's
it's a
a
monarchy.
constitutional monarchy.
Mm-hmm.
Constitutional monarchy. You could still have the prime minister as head of state, head of
Mm-hmm.
government. Excuse me, not head of state, head of
Mm-hmm.
government. But it's interesting. Like in some of these countries that have a prime minister as head of government, they're actually constitutional republics. So they have a president as a ceremonial position instead of a monarch.
That's why I was like the ceremonial monarchy, right? But then the prime minister is in charge of everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're saying like that?
Well, kind of like that, but instead of a monarch, in certain cases, for example, take Germany or Italy, they used to be monarchies, but after the monarchs were opposed, they maintained the original government, but instead of a monarchy, they have a president who's a ceremonial position.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, well, what do we see? What am I looking at here?
No, those are the strikes coming in from Iran.
Yeah,
This-
hold up.
I had to find it. Watch how they turn.
I remember used to see propaganda clips like this back home in Eritrea. They were showing clips about the arms struggle back in the 80s and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can see those intercepts, but they are not intercepting 100% of that. They're getting through.
Yeah, and that's just one of them. There's other places near the air bases where they all just about all got through.
Oh
Iran's
yeah,
technology
I think
oh,
I
go ahead.
have that one too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that one too, BGS. I saw it was a guy, he should have had it on TikTok. They had it on TikTok where they was like pretty much like maybe about, I'd say about maybe a mile and a half away from their area. Bruh, they was coming in like it was 40 every 2-3 seconds, 40 coming in. And then the intercepts probably like maybe 6, maybe 7 was intercepting them. It was
Yeah,
getting
they
in.
overwhelm their fort. They try to. It's basically overwhelming them. Like when they try to overwhelm. It's like when you like in the corner. It's like in boxing when we're in the corner, right? And your opponent's just wailing. You got your guard up, protecting your body and your head, but he's just pounding, throwing punches away, and hopefully getting a few in. Some get through eventually. What's that sound?
Oh no, I'm on Telegram.
Oh.
I'm trying to find that video where they
Okay,
were
for a
sitting in
minute,
the airport.
Well,
Okay, for a minute, I
at that
thought that
point,
was.
at that point, BGS, right? At that point, if you were lacking in ability to be able to intercept all of them, wouldn't you think about like, well, let's hit the stuff that's gonna hurt us. Let's focus on that more.
Okay, you could, except that you have too many, and if they're on the ground and you don't know where they are.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's what I was saying because when I saw that one, the dude couldn't have been no more than 2 miles away from it. They fired off 40, and it had another 40 behind it. And man, dude, they was like it wasn't even 2% they was knocking down with the intercept.
Yeah, basically, those are probably the Hezbollah, and it's probably rockets. Those weren't the missiles; those are rockets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they got the drones too, so it's like you don't know where it's coming from, and they cannot hit all of them. And those ballistics, like you say, the hypersonics, you might go and give it up on that.
Yeah, basically, the first one, it took 5 countries. See those are the ones that get. Those are the major ones getting through. Okay, they're not knocking those down. See, those are not being knocked down. See all those strikes? Oh, they're not knocking those down.
Yeah. Those terminal velocity. That was the terminal velocity.
See. Yep. See those.
Yeah, that was terminal velocity. That was going fast as hell, bro. That looked like might have been one of those hypersonics because that's terminal velocity going so fast. A C-RAM, you can't even target it fast enough.
No, they can't, and that's the whole thing they were saying. What's
And
his name? Smoothie actually talked about. He did a whole hour on that about the systems and how they were built and the missiles that they were used uh, and what they were designed for. Because he was Smoothie was a naval officer, uh, 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 and ballistic missiles was his thing.
But look at the Avenger system, right? In the Army, we use Avenger, right? So back in the days, they had the tow. They had a couple of other recoilless things that we use, but with the Avenger, right? When you going, let's say you're attacking a tank with the Avenger,
Mm-hmm.
the terminal velocity, the way it was actually better was because it didn't use a line of sight directly to it, so it could go up. It based on the target that you got lased, you could laze it. It could go with heat. Is a different way, about 3 or 4 different ways you can do it. But it goes to the terminal velocity to the top of it. Instead of going straight, it goes up. And then once it gets to that point, it comes straight down. So it's almost impossible to destroy it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you got that with hypersonic, my God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. They have been building hypersonics since 20. What is it? Since 2012 or so. So they got stockpiles of them. In fact, a lot of the drones that the Russians use are actually built by Iran. Because Iran was the first one to start building them because I think it was 2004 or five where the American drone got brought down and
Yep.
landed,
yeah.
so they started reverse engineering them.
Yeah, and it was
Okay.
almost fully intact as well.
Yeah, they figured out how to bring it down by radio,
Yeah.
and so they had it land, and they started reverse engineering the drone. So that's where a lot of the first generation drones that Iran and China and Russia built were actually modeled after that.
Mm. Before this conflict, Iran actually had some practice using those drones, and that was in the Ethiopian Civil War about 4 years ago,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
along with the Turks and the
If you
Chinese.
if you go back and look at it, I think it was 2005. I think when they brought the drone down.
I remember
Yeah.
the press conference where they showed the
Yeah.
drone and
They showed the
everything.
drone. Yeah. The little surveillance drone. Yeah.
Looked like a
Yeah.
B-2 stealth bomber in a way.
It was a stealth drone.
No, I said that. Yeah, it was stealth, but the design when you look at it reminds you
Mm.
like a B-2
That's
B-2 stealth bomber.
Yeah. It
Beautiful to
is.
look at.
Yeah. So after that they reverse engineered it, and they and actually the United States had to change all the software and all the drones is because they had reverse engineered that too.
Yeah.
In fact, I think it was the software that Israelis used to actually disable disable the the centrifuges. Okay.
Oh,
Um, the Iranians got a hold of it. They found it, got a hold of it, and they decoded it. And a lot of that encryption that was used actually in that software was actually a key to the
Yeah, you
drone.
talking about Stuxnet. You talking about Stuxnet.
Yeah, Stuxnets. And when they reversed engineered, they found out they could actually bring down American drones with it.
yikes.
Yeah,
ECM.
yeah. So basically, they keyed into it and basically told it to land. And that's why they stopped sending drones over Iran after that.
That's really.
And they had to change all the software in all the other drones.
What can be done after that? I mean, look at that. For like,
Yeah. So
you got to change it. You got to change the system all completely. You got to also find like some protection for that software engine, defenses and whatnot. Not easy.
yeah,
Yeah, that was a UCAB. What you talking about? That was a UCAB they took down.
yeah. No, it's been a while. So this stuff is not new. So
20 years. It's been 20 years since that shit happened. We think
yeah,
about it. We just
it's been 20 years.
damn.
Yeah. So they stockpiled a lot of stuff since then.
I was like 21, 20, I was 22 at
Yeah,
the time.
yeah. They said they've been building these stockpiles for 20 years. So if and basically they told him if you want to go, let's go. You know, so they said they told get it started.
They've had
Yeah.
different under 3 different administrations, and like,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of that, the president did. I'm sure a lot of that was like under the government's nose. It was like, the Ayatollah was like in charge of everything, and
Yeah.
what was gonna go, what was not gonna go, what could go, what not could go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, what was approved, what wasn't approved.
Yeah. Well, like I said, like Mike Tyson said, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face, right?
So absolutely, absolutely, BGS. The motherfuckers don't even learn until they get punched right in the motherfucking face.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Well,
I
they
learned that the
build the
hard way
stuff.
against Evander Holyfield. In the first fight, he got me good. He got me good. Or worse than when Buster Douglas got me.
Yeah. If yeah, basically, Cuss told him from the very beginning. He says he's got the wrong style for you. Don't fight him.
Same thing with Lennox Lewis. When he met Lennox Lewis first met. They were sparring together when they were young and when they were pretty
Mm-hmm.
young. And Cuss had come out. No, stop.
Yeah.
And eventually that came.
But look, who benefits, right?
Who
Think about
benefit?
it, right? Military industrial complex, right? We know they benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but now we look at the size, the lines being drawn in the sand. Of course, this politics.
Okay.
But who benefits on both sides, right? On both ends of it.
Okay.
The
What do you
arms
mean?
dealers,
To who?
right?
To
The
who?
arms dealers.
No. No. What are you fighting for, right?
Yeah.
Fighting control of what? Control of the dollar, right? Who
That's true. That's
benefits?
why BRICS was created, right?
Who? That's what bricks were created. Who benefits? Okay. You're basically. I always tell you if when you play chess, who's the most powerful piece on the board?
The queen,
The queen. Who's the most valuable piece on the board?
the king.
The king, right?
The game's over. Game's over.
The army, the military is your queen. It's the most powerful piece on the board, right? But they're not the most valuable. Okay. Who benefits? Military industrial complex. If you listen to what what's his name tried to say before he left office, right? Eisenhower before he left office,
Eisenhower.
he was trying to
warned.
he warned you about military. He wasn't talking about the people making the weapons. He was talking about the people controlling the finances. Okay, controlling basically how do you keep control over um, how do you keep control over the economics? Okay,
Yeah,
of the
well,
world.
basically the people that's paying the people to make the weapons. That's
No. How do you get the money for the weapons? Where does it come from?
you get it through politics.
No. You get where does the politics don't make no money. Where you get the money from?
The banks.
No, the banks don't make no money. Where you get the money from? You
You get from
you get the businesses buy from trade, buying and selling, right? Okay.
Buying, selling, yeah.
right,
Okay.
right.
And
Of course,
who's in control of the buying and selling for the last 80 years?
a small country.
No. Come on, man.
Producers.
No. America has been in charge of economics for the past 80 years.
Well, then that's a petrodollar, right?
Hold
Yeah.
up. Shadow, you see this?
And they're not targeted houses, okay? How many of those are getting shot down?
Not that many. Very
Exactly.
Like that, man, you can look at
Exactly.
the angle and the degree of attack on that.
Yeah, and we'll wrap it up after. I'll wrap it up after this. Basically, okay. This is. Let me see if I can find it again. Okay.
So you say you want to know who controls the money, the funding? Say that you're asking questions.
I care not who sits on the throne. If you let me control the money.
That's Rothschild, I think.
That's right. And also, what's the name? Caesar said, okay. Money is the lifeblood of war, of the military. Okay.
Correct.
No military can actually get out there and do anything without money. Okay. And what does your military protect? It doesn't protect the weapons makers. It protects the country. It protects your economic system, right? So basically, if you want to go grab land and you want to grab an economic system, you need what? You need a military, right? Okay. How many of those are getting shot down, man?
None.
Less than 0.5%.
Okay. Uh, you know, I rest my case.
Hey,
Let's
hey.
see. Hold.
Oh,
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was,
Now,
I
let me
was saying,
find this.
and the reason why I say that I'm BJS and Rothschild because I've got 2 books by that talk about the Rothschild, the House of Rothschild. That's the only thing I could find. There were many books. I forget who's author wrote it.
If you really want the original books that talk about the Rothschilds were um, the one that really got people on notice is the Secrets of the Federal Reserve by Eustace Mullins.
I think I got that PDF, or did you? I think you sent
I,
that PDF.
I don't know if no, I don't think I sent it to you. But there's a bunch of books that have talked about the Rothschilds, but the seminal book that actually mentions them in the banking system is the Secrets of the Federal Reserve
Was it
by what's this?
Baron Della Rothschild, right? Baron Della Rothschild, the one that they got the information before when they thought that Napoleon, when they thought that everybody was gonna be lost, right? Didn't Baron Della Rothschild buy up the whole English economy for pennies on the
No,
dollar?
no,
He knew.
no, 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 no. He knew it was going to attack, but he got into the British banking system, right? The British banking system is a lot older, right? In fact, your Bushes are part of the banking system. Brown Brothers, okay, which started selling trading slaves in the 16th century.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the British banking system is a lot older than you think it is. Okay, and now do the small hats have a stake in it, including the Rothschilds? Yes, they do. Okay,
Of course they do.
but the thing is, but they're only a small part of the British banking system.
Mm-hmm.
Even they're a small part of the American banking system too.
Damn. Let me see. Do I got this little book? I don't think I got this book. I'm trying to find it now. Fuck. Where's the books?
Take your time.
Is this the one? The Secret
Okay.
of the Federal Reserve. Economic. No. Damn it. I thought I had it here. I'm mad.
Because let me share it real quick. If you're there, Lewis. Okay, this is what it's all.
Louis!
I think he's there. He's probably looking around for the clips. Okay, this is what it's all about. Okay, this is really what it's all about. She says it in basically in blank terms, right? Okay,
Yeah. Plain speech.
so it's not about selling weapons.
Well, I think whoever inhabits the White House after in January needs to recognize that the United States doesn't have a choice, but to be involved in the world and to try to shape the international environment. As I said, great powers don't mind their own business. So the real question is, do you want Russia and China to shape the international environment, or do we want to shape the international environment with our allies? I would say to whomever is in office, strengthen the American defense industrial base. We really have to do that. Work hard with our allies, and yes, our allies have to do more. We can't have any more free riders as allies, and I think they understand that as you're starting to see countries take on their responsibilities. I would say also, let's be very clear that we are going to oppose aggression, but we can do that with a strong deterrent message. Well, I think whoever inhabits the White House.
That's what she's trying to say, and this is if you follow Mearsheimer and the realists, this is what they've been saying for quite a long time, right? That's what it's about. It's about keeping pushing down the BRICS and keeping Russia, China, and the BRICS from shaping the economic environment. Has nothing to do with selling weapons. Okay, and like
And what's good is what I heard her say also, brother, is she didn't say the word, but the treaty, NATO have to pay their dues. They do.
if Trump Trump said that what back in 2018 said the same thing, which they opposed it. Okay, now they
Yes,
don't
sir.
have a choice. Now they don't have a
Yes,
choice.
sir.
Okay,
They
okay.
have to.
Well, Biden didn't believe in it, but now they don't have a choice. Okay, so that tells me one they're gonna have to concede to the realists, and two, they don't believe that Kamala Harris is gonna win this election. So
Damn. Oh well.
Yeah.
They could rig it, and we could be surprised.
Huh? I
They
mean,
could rig
okay. At the end of the day, okay. Uh, I think the neocons are throwing in the towel on this agenda that they've been going down because it hasn't worked. That's number one. Okay. So basically, they're telling the realists that they're right. And number two, they don't believe that, like I said, they don't believe um,
Mhm.
that they can win this election. You can rig it, okay. You can rig it, but okay, if you rig it, how's that going to help you globally?
It
What's it going
probably
to do
won't.
for you? What's it going to do for you?
Well, if they rig it, it's got to be less than 30%, right?
It,
So if it's anything higher than that, it's going to look rigged,
okay,
right?
Well, no, no. B didn't say. I would say if they rig, what would be
even if
perfect?
they rigged it and they put her in office and continue the policies, how is that going to help you as a country?
Let
Not
me
at
ask.
all from her because she
You're
can't
not.
even read up the teleprompter, and she's up
No,
there with Oprah,
that
and
has
Oprah's like
no.
taking up
You
there.
see, you thinking. You see, this is why I don't like doing domestic politics. Okay, the policies that you already have laid out that you continue and have not worked. Right? Okay, it hasn't worked in Ukraine. It's not going to work in Israel. Okay, and guess what
Mhm.
happens? The more you do this crap, the more other people join the BRICS and try to go the other way. So, in other words, even if you put these people in, what are you going to do to correct the situation?
They're not going to correct it because we see what's going on because for the last 4 years we see what was led up to this
So,
basically.
so if they rig it, how is that going to help the country?
It won't.
It won't. Exactly. It won't. And basically, the only, I'll say this, okay, without getting in too much trouble, okay, the only way, the only reason that I even would want to see Trump in, okay,
Mhm.
is at least he's willing to slow this kind of crap down. At least he's willing to kind of stop some of the crap that's going on right now, kind of negotiate with the BRICS and China because you can't stop them. That game is over already. At least slow it down to where you can actually, instead of crashing into the wall, you can at least step on the brakes a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I thought right that they would try to do something before November 5th.
Who's that? Israel? You talking about
Not
talking about
necessarily,
talking about a small
not,
country? Oh,
not necessarily them. I'm not taking them out of that though. But I'm saying like
what did it?
e-
Okay,
even
do
their opponent, right, to do a massive that they got it right, and then the BRICS could give them what they need, which we
they,
already know they
they
got what they
don't
need.
they don't they don't need anything. They already have it. That's what you don't understand.
That's what I was saying, brother.
Oh,
I'm agreeing with you on that. I'm agreeing with
no,
you on
no.
that. But I was
Listen to me. You got to
before
listen to.
November 5th.
Unless you know more than me, man, please listen. Okay, I'm trying to explain it to you. Okay.
No, I just asked you that question. I wasn't saying it for sure, bro. I'm just asking you the question. That's all
Okay.
I'm asking.
Okay. What
That's why
question? What question? Okay. The only
the
reason.
previous question of what I
Okay.
said about the November 5th, did you think that they would make a
If
move
the
before then?
only reason they would do it if they were sure that the United States would actually come in and help them defend themselves, because if not, they're sitting ducks. Okay, they won't be. In fact, they told them. Okay. According to them, there's two things that are going to happen. Okay, they're going. They're going to shut down the Strait of Hormuz, and oil will be, instead of being at 73, it'll be at 173. Okay, you want to see that? You want to see truckers park their trucks because they can't afford diesel. You want to see that
Mhm.
in this environment that we're already in? You want to see that?
But that,
I,
that's the point. What I was saying, I wasn't necessarily say just them. That's why I didn't say just them.
I ask. Can you answer my question, and then we can
What
continue? Do you, in other words, so you didn't hear what I said?
I don't want diesel higher. I want it lower because it
And
makes
if
everything better. Because
if you strike them the way you think you want to strike them, but even before November 5th, right? Okay, they're going to shut down the Strait of Hormuz. What's that going to do to your chances during November 5th?
no,
Mhm.
well, that's gonna be messed up. But what I was saying is not necessarily them, but I'm saying someone else were to make a move elsewhere. Let's just say
Uh,
elsewhere, not necessarily in the Red Sea, not necessarily in Strait of Hormuz, not necessarily on a small hat or into Iran, but somewhere.
There's only two theaters in play. Okay, there's only two theaters in play. Okay, and you damn sure not in position to do something in Taiwan. You're not even in position for that.
That's what I was asking. That's basically
You,
what I was
you
trying to get to. But that's fine.
that's not even scheduled till 2027. That's like 3 years from now. Okay, at the
Got
earliest.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay, that's why I was asking. That's how I asked, bro.
No, you should have asked. Okay, that's everybody points to 2027. If and that's because China is producing so many weapons so fast that they won't. Basically, they're going to surpass them, and they won't be able to catch up after 2027. They've already surpassed them. They won't be able to catch up after 2027. So if they're going to do anything with China, okay, and they have to do it before 2027 because that is the cutoff point. Vance said that. A couple of your realists said that. Biden has said that. Yada yada yada. Right. So as far as that's kind of
Yeah,
realists are saying. Why?
they all said,
Uh,
yeah, they all have.
so why are you wasting money and yada 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 on Russia and Ukraine when that money should have been saved and da 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 to go to your main competitor? Okay, that
Mm-hmm.
hasn't happened. Okay, you blew $200-300 billion in Ukraine. Okay, and now you're blowing another 50 billion in the Middle East. Okay, you ain't
Yeah.
got no money. You basically all your stockpile of weapons that you used to have, right, are gone. Okay, because you overextended it. Okay, in other words, you thought that the war in Ukraine is supposed to last 2 months. You thought the little thing in Gaza is supposed to last maybe no more than 30 days. All that stuff got blown out of proportion. Okay, so you're wrong. So now you're engulfed in two simultaneous losing battles. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's going
And
downhill,
blowing
and,
away
and
money.
you and you can't.
Intelligence supposed to know that already though. Didn't Intel supposed to already know that though, bro?
They told them that, and guess what they did?
They still proceeded.
They did it anyway. Okay, that's like
Stupid.
why you think all your realists like Minsheimer and McGregor and all these people actually on YouTube talking. Okay, why you think? Because you would never see them on YouTube or talking on RT or talking to the Russians or anybody else like that because they would keep quiet. The thing is, this is so critical. They're running their mouth. Okay.
Yeah.
So in other words, if you do something stupid, okay, say you did something, China's already told you do something stupid in Taiwan, they will nuke you. Okay. Same thing with those storm shadows. Okay. Putin said, we're gonna if you try it, so we're gonna blame you. We're not gonna blame Ukraine. We're gonna go after you. So we're not gonna kill any more Ukrainians. We're gonna go right after the source. So try it if you want to. That's like what's his name? Snatch the pen out of his hand. You ain't gonna do this. That's like right now the DOD's in control of this particular thing. Otherwise, I do believe the small hats would have, I should say, the little country, little people would have
Mm-hmm.
struck already. Why come you think they haven't struck?
Mm-hmm.
You're right, because they have slowed down, and you're right.
So what's going on? And they might cause a little trouble here and there in Lebanon, but against the big boys, they ain't said squat since, okay? Because Lloyd
Because it's
Austin
gonna
told
be on all us. It's gonna be on us.
Lloyd Austin told them, if you do it, you're on your own. So jump off the porch if you want to. Because the first strike was actually telegraphed. It took 5 countries and $2 billion to shoot those things down. You're not going to get that this time. So the last the one that you just saw was 90% effective. Okay, and basically that was a slap. That wasn't a punch.
But that answered my question, bro. That's why I asked. That actually answered my question. I appreciate you for laying it down like that because that answered my question. Because before November 5th, I can see now you definitely right. They don't want to make no move because they don't have no support. They don't have none.
They can jump off but the thing is, I've seen people do stupid stuff before. Okay. So in other words, I've lost my faith in human beings by being smart.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I've seen and basically Lewis can tell you, the stuff that we've seen over the past 3 years makes absolutely no sense because it's the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. But they did it anyway.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, I can understand I can understand your you being disillusioned, BGS. I mean, at some point we all get disillusioned about a lot of things.
Just
So,
like that
yeah.
thing in Kursk, man. The reason it was undefended, the reason they took territory because the Russians didn't think they were dumb enough to do some dumb shit like that, but they did it anyway.
Oh, Kursk. Oh, ooh, right.
The reason wasn't defended. Said, "What nobody's dumb enough to do some bonehead stuff like this." So that's how come they were able to invade that easily and take over territory because it was a dumb move. Okay, they didn't believe the people were that stupid, and the Russians said, "Okay, okay." Now the Russians are in no hurry to actually stop the war because guess what? They're bleeding your weapons and money. Okay, if you want to keep throwing weapons, money, and bodies at us, and we keep knocking them down, that means there's less weapons, money, and people that you're going to have to actually do anything else.
It's attrition, right? And what I thought was when they did Crimea, right? They wanted that southern port because they need it, right? They
What's
need
that
that
say?
southern port. They need to be able to
No,
get some stuff out from there versus the Arctic port that they got up north. They want to get that southern port. They want Crimea.
Crimea's been in Russian hands since 1750. You think the Russians are actually going to give it up without a fight?
no.
Hell no.
Considering that's
And
that's the
that's
only
how
way
come
into the
Crimea
outside
is
world.
as soon as they had that change in governance and had that little revolution, and they thought they were going to take Crimea. Russia just walked right on and said no, thank
They
uh,
went
uh,
yet.
yeah, that's what they did. So you can have the rest of it, but you can't have this.
Yeah, and
What's the
also
next one?
NATO was trying to get their little grubby hands on that black soil in Ukraine.
Uh Basically, I don't know why NATO did. They could have done that with the EU. They didn't. They didn't need.
I mean, the
They didn't
European Union, yeah.
I mean, the European Union could. Guess what? Putin had nothing against Ukraine joining the European Union. None. Zero. NATO was what he was against. You want to join the EU? If they want to take you, God bless you. But the things that they didn't allow them to join NATO. If they want the black soil, they could have had it. They're already there. Basically,
They would have had to go through EU and not NATO.
well, the thing is that you're already there. Your boys are already in place. What do you need all that for black soil? You already have it. That was not, basically that is not the whole objective. The whole objective with Russia and Ukraine is even it's not about Russia and Ukraine. Okay, if she just told you what it was, that's why I played her. Okay, who's going to shape the environment? Is it going to be Russia and China, or the BRICS, or us and our allies? Okay, that's what she's trying to say. So,
And you know what?
go ahead.
Condi actually speaks with sense. She can get up there and speak with knowledge, knowing, right? Because she was there at state, right? Even,
Yeah,
even under all these wars, she knows. And why wouldn't black women power, right? Why wouldn't she go if you want to be what would they call it, cross party lines? Why wouldn't Kamala go and even just have her? You go and get you go and get Dick Cheney, right? Oh yeah, Dick Cheney supports us. Like that's gonna make us. Did you know what he did with KBR and Halliburton? Ask anybody in the service what they was doing. You feel me?
oh,
Hey, AL, are you there? Is AL sleeping?
I don't know. I
AL,
don't
you
know.
there?
Yeah, he's sleeping.
He's probably listening.
You might.
Yo, wake up, AL, where you at, man?
Oh, because I got
Don't
passport
blow his
OG in
buzz,
the
man.
back.
Oh, yeah, just drop him down and
Yeah,
bring
drop
him
it
Yeah.
down to me. If he's not responding, drop it.
Bring in the OG, man.
because I got about 10 more minutes before I bounce.
Oh no,
Yeah, I'm
hey, what's up,
struggle
guys?
streaming. I gotta wait till I get paid so I can pay my
Don't worry about it, man. Well, you don't stream that much, so don't even worry about
yeah.
it. And plus,
What's
they
good,
raised the
Pat?
prices on this thing, so
Yeah. What's good,
don't even worry
Pat
about
Ford? How you been?
I'm
If
good.
anybody could donate a quarter to my Cash App, please
it. Well,
do.
and but don't even worry about it till you start making a few dollars to actually pay for it, man. If they want it that bad, they'll pay for it.
That's true.
BJS, I want to just ask a quick question and then I'll drop. But you saw the headline of them sending 100 troops with the was it the missile system?
Oh
To
yeah,
their
yeah, they have to because there's nobody. They already do it in the Ukraine already. Basically, the Patriot system is not manned by Ukrainians; they're actually manned
Yeah, that's right.
by Americans. So basically, if you're going to send the systems with them, okay, over there, then they have to
Yeah,
be
it's gonna be
manned
trained people.
by trained people.
Now the question I
Wow.
want to ask you is, does that become a target? And if so,
If
what happens if
if
something
if
happens to those group of
if
soldiers?
they're acceptable losses, okay, because you send them over there in harm's way.
But I mean, what I just want to ask is, do you think it will be a used for escalation?
If the DOD wanted to escalate, they would allow Israel to escalate.
Okay.
Because
Oh, so
yeah,
you're less worried than I am. Good. That's good.
because okay, go back and listen to Wilkerson. Okay, he actually gave like three different interviews with dialogue. I think Dialogue Works. I think that's his name of his channel, right? He actually stated that the DOD is taking charge of this. Okay,
Okay.
they will allow them to defend themselves but not attack. So in other words, if there was a chance of escalation, they wouldn't send the Patriots over there.
Okay.
But if you over there and you manning it, then you basically your target, just like everybody else.
Can y'all
Yeah.
hit the like button? Y'all watching?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, hit the likes, man, because you're getting a free BGS thing, okay? So
Yeah, I think the first thing I was worried, or the first thing that hit my mind was just Gulf of Tonkin, right? I mean, that's what started Vietnam, was it not?
if you okay, that's okay. If if you want to escalate, you don't have to wait, okay? If you want to escalate, you can go hit them yourself.
You
You don't
know,
need an
but
excuse.
with the war being as unpopular as it is,
Okay, there won't be a war.
yeah. Ugh, you're right. Yeah.
They've already let you know it's hands off. Okay. If the closest you came was at F-35 back about 6 7 months ago. Okay, that had that thing on it. Okay,
Oh yeah,
that was one.
I had
Yeah,
the radio traffic on that.
yeah. In fact, what's his name? Uh, 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 Escobar. Okay, Pepe Escobar actually
Pepe,
came out.
right?
Pepe actually came out and confirmed it. Right. Okay. And the second thing is the Storm Shadow. Right, which everybody came out and told you about that one. Okay. Those are 2 times. So and the DOD said, okay, everybody out of the pool because you idiots don't know what you're doing. So,
And that
so
that is a glowing representation of the military brass. There are some
they,
people in the military
they,
that have their heads screwed on straight.
Basically, what's his name? Cheney tried it under Bush in 2007 with those 2 broken arrows. Remember that, Louis?
Yeah.
Uh, the ones
And the
that
pilot said, "Call the
yeah,
White House."
call the White House. Remember that? Yeah, Cheney tried that against Iran back in 2007. So the military stopped that. And then the IDF was trying Netanyahu was trying to do that back in 20, I want to say 2013, 2012, something like that. They had planned strikes against Iran, and the IDF came in and stopped it. So they're not with it. So they're not with this.
And that's why also when Trump was president, they urged General Kelly and General Mattis to be on his staff to keep him in check.
Keep him in check, yeah, to keep you from keep the car on the road, okay. So basically, this is in fact, I think I might do that one. I don't know. Should I do Condoleezza Rice is actually on the PBS doing an interview. I don't know. Should I do that public or should I do that behind the wall, Louis?
Public.
What?
I didn't
Behind
ask
the
you, man.
wall.
I didn't
Behind the
ask you,
wall.
Chaos.
But,
Behind the wall. Okay.
Chaos. Pay the money for the Patreon.
It's $3, man. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Is YouTube gonna? Are you playing videos of this?
I'm gonna react to her video. Okay, that she did on PBS. If you want it, it's on
Oh,
PBS.
if it's on PBS where that you can't get advertised, then fine, doing a paywall.
Yeah, no. I worry more about it than me getting my ass in trouble.
Patreon.
Yeah,
Patreon.
Okay, yeah, okay. Because a lot of the stuff that was a clip of what she's trying to say. She's out here trying to convey a message now. So she's putting her face out there. Anything else before I go?
BGSU should raise your prices. I'm serious. I'm not laughing. You really should. You really should raise your prices. I mean, I dare say your Patreon should be minimum $10, maybe 20. I'd pay 20. I'd happily pay 20.
Hey, BGS, like $3 tier if you just want to talk to BGS. Have a It'd be like Johnny Walker Red, then Johnny Walker Black when you want to talk about, and then Johnny Walker Blue when you want to talk about the real deep stuff.
Yeah, the esoteric is already at $20. I got, but the thing is, I haven't advertised because I don't do enough of it. I was thinking about doing the $10 tier for the politics stuff like that, and then for the open stuff, just $3. So $3 is just $3 is just to keep trolls away. Trolls don't want to pay any money to come in and mess with you, so that's just a barrier to keep a lot of the civilians out.
Mm. I wouldn't disagree with you raising your prices.
I'll
I
pay it.
wouldn't blame you.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it-
especially for the
w-
heavy
With
stuff.
this economy,
What-
yeah, you got to raise the prices, man.
Well, I mean, there's no one else. There are not many places where you're going to find people talking about the non-surface stuff. Because I mean, the election. I mean, you could argue about that all day, but I mean, it's two choices like it always is. Like, okay, one way is going to be a little bit more than one way. Next other way is going to be a little bit more the other.
Yeah.
Other than that, all the other stuff that keeps happening still going to keep happening.
Yeah, yeah, like with the Obama thing, nobody actually went back and went over the old stuff. How he didn't want Kamala Harris? Nobody actually talked about that. No, what he said to black men and yada yada yada. Said he just said he's reading a script right now. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I said if you go back, he don't want her either. So
She gets on his nerves pretty much.
it's not that she gets on his nerves. He doesn't feel she's qualified to be in office.
Oh, sorry about that too. Excuse me.
Yeah, which is
Oh, she didn't.
which is most of the Democratic Party.
If she were qualified to win the office, she could have won a primary.
She could have won a primary. They'd have run her for the
I
primary.
mean, one primary.
That's what I was saying, right? Because she was the first one to drop out in the primary when they did have that primary, right? She was the first, and she attacked Joe Biden, called him everything under the sun,
hmm
and yet and still he picks her on DEI purposes, right? Just specifically because there was other people in the Democratic National primary that than DNC that actually was saying stuff
Why?
that made more sense to her.
Why did they pick her? He could have picked a whole bunch of other women. Why did they pick her?
He said specifically he wanted a woman of color. Now that's what he said.
He could have picked Susan Rice, which was
That's
his
very
first
true.
pick.
Which was Obama, Susan Rice. You're absolutely correct.
Okay, but why they pick her? Do you know?
Because she could be. I figured she checks the box of the DEI, and then also she's more malleable, and the fact that she's not as politically astute or whatever, they could use her more.
There's two people why she was picked. One was George Soros, the other was Hillary Clinton.
Well, it looks like the miscalculation they made was that if they used the money they had already collected in the Biden campaign for her, that she could hit the ground running. Well, she ran out of steam.
She didn't have the talent to do it in the first place. That's why they hit her. Okay.
Yeah.
They didn't. The thing is, they weren't protecting her from steam. The Kamala Harris that you're seeing right now is the Kamala Harris that's been there all along.
Yeah.
What it has showed her from the very beginning.
She just didn't have it.
She didn't have it, right? That's what I said. I argued with the blue folks for like 2 months behind that. Okay, well, just wait. She's holding her water. She's gonna come out with something later on. I said, man, it's the only reason that they're holding her back because she ain't got it. Because I would do the same thing.
She hasn't done a live interview since she started her campaign. That's crazy.
It's because she can't do it.
She's got one coming up now, y'all. What is it?
The Breakfast Club.
Yeah, Breakfast Club.
Come
Yeah,
on,
you got.
man. She gonna talk to a rapper? Come on.
She gonna talk. She gonna go and get her tea in her hand shaked and treated like a celebrity.
Yeah, I imagine that the guy, Mr. Charlemagne, will not ask her any questions that would actually be like some hardball, like fastball questions.
Guys,
I don't
come on.
think.
Guys, we got to remember now they have schools of journalism. Okay, they have people that actually go to school to learn how to be journalists. She
It's
could talk to journalists. She doesn't want to. She wants to
six,
talk to a rapper on a radio show.
60
Right.
Minutes. She knew what the questions were before the 60 Minutes interview, right? Okay. And he was trying to give her the questions that people wanted answered in a form where she could answer them. She couldn't
She
do it.
couldn't handle it.
She couldn't handle it.
Right, but look, if they wanted, if they're gonna come out, and they bring Obama, they bring these other people. Bill Clinton, I saw his interview. They come out and they say, well, black men, they only don't want to vote for her because simply she's a woman, and I find that highly suspect because black men are not that shallow. We actually care about our money, our pocketbook. We care about that. Our bank accounts, it matters. Our jobs, we have brothers that's contractors, we got brothers that's in the system, military, otherwise, union. We're not just here, and I hear people say, oh, black men, they just they just want to get back at a woman by voting against a woman. That's not true. That's not true at all. How dare they say that?
Okay. See why I don't do domestic politics, OG? Okay.
I mean, come on, man. Look.
And
Donald Trump comes out with some shiny gold shoes and he wins the news cycle for a day. She won the news cycle. Good for her.
It's good for her. Basically, you're actually going to react emotionally to it instead of say, why is he saying it?
Yeah.
Like we still arguing about what color she is, okay?
Don't even matter.
After 4 months.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Right. It didn't even matter what color she is. It's about the actual policy. And when you talk about policy, if you ask a person a direct question and they dodge and duck, I mean, my God, what was it? What's her saying? At least Obama had change, right? Change, hope and change.
Yeah. And
right.
Instead of hope and change, she uses the word joy, right?
And not only joy, was unburdened by unburdened what we were burdened by.
Basically, the thing is, you got to remember, Obama started his campaign 2.5 years earlier. Okay.
Yeah, and Obama had affordable health care. It's his thing. So he had something.
No, Obama was elected because of the mortgage crisis. Okay.
That too.
That was the reason that he got elected is because of the mortgage crisis.
Right. Huh? They had to bail the banks out, right?
Unless you want all the banks to fail.
Of course, it was a loaded dick, right? It's a loaded dick.
I mean, what did he say? What Paul said when he got out on one knee? If you don't sign this, every bank in the world will fail tomorrow. And he wasn't kidding. Okay.
Yeah, if y'all was subscribed to BGS's Patreon stream, you would have saw the movie.
You did saw the movie.
Yes, you did.
I showed you.
I think that's the best one. The one that HBO did. Was it when it was more of like a documentary almost?
Yeah, almost
I
like
think
a
that's the best one on it.
It's close. It's close to the real life. But the thing is, there's certain things they won't tell you. That's why I showed you the other two.
Of course, they won't tell us.
Yes, of course. Like
we don't even know who. We still don't know what happened to Kennedy. We still don't know that.
Yeah,
kind of, sort of.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
Kind of, sort of.
Hey, you really don't. Hell, you still don't know what happened to Lincoln. Okay. Do we?
About it, bitch.
Do we?
That's right. We do not know.
We do not. Yeah. How long ago was that? 150 years? 150 years? 160 years? Yeah.
Yes, so, yeah.
What I'm saying is, well, it is what it is. Domestic politics, people get emotional. Oh man, you shouldn't have said that to us. When my feelings are hurt, yada yada yada. Okay, right. So why did he say it for a candidate that he doesn't even believe in? Because that's the first thing I would say, man. What are you talking about? I mean, you don't even believe in her. So why are you telling us that? That'll shut down everything.
Negative emotion is better than people being ambivalent.
And plus, you inspire women. Okay.
Yep.
Black women. Basically, you told them the misogynistic, misogynoir black men where to go, and guess what? I wasn't sure about you, and
yeah, that was their net gain, though, right? That's a net gain for them.
Well, until they go to the grocery store, or until they actually try to get a check and realize that the migrants are taking their money.
And what they don't want to say is a lot of black women are actually, if you look, because they're more representative in our culture, they are more, it's more black women than black men. So they actually,
Yeah,
some of
it's not
them,
enough.
Yeah,
It's not enough.
in fact, the internal polls are saying the rumor that Kamala Harris lost 15% of the black female vote.
It's not enough.
And so if black folks feel that way, especially after hurricanes, what do white folks feel?
What do white women feel? White women is going to the grocery store,
And,
and
and,
they
and,
and some of them got money and they're hurting.
and they're hurting, and they look where you spending your money, right?
Hmm.
So we'll see, you know. But I still don't have no faith in emoji.
Man, look, when I saw that video about them talking about the government starting hurricanes, I was like, man, Kamala
Oh
Harris
yeah,
might
yeah,
win
yeah.
the election.
You know how old harp is. In fact, Nick Beggars wrote that book in '91. Angels don't play that harp. Okay, that's when we first heard about it. That's 30 years, over 30 years ago.
Yeah, on Art Bell.
On our bill, yes. Go. Yeah,
yeah, but
I
they've
had.
been cloud
Go ahead.
seeding. They've been cloud seeding for years.
No,
You know
no,
what I mean?
this is not cloud seeding. Okay, they've been cloud seeding is very old. You have a whole bunch of other technologies like what is it called? Chemtrails, where they spray that shit and actually create
Yeah.
clouds. Um, the
Right.
thing is,
Atomization did the
these are energy directed uh, uh, instruments that can actually start a hurricane. Okay,
Oh, really?
with heat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
it,
Tall
it, it,
antennas that send out frequencies.
it's an array. It's an array of antennas. Okay,
Now, do you think that just because it's possible that it's happening?
I don't. Well, the thing is, who's in charge? Basically, who does it benefit? Okay. Now,
Oh
if
man,
some rogue element did it, then maybe so. But the thing is, the people in charge don't benefit from it. So why would they do it before an election?
yeah, yeah, of
Unless you
course.
got other people that say like the Soviets or the Chinese doing it, then that could be the case.
I mean, I would say that, but I would also say that the water in the Gulf is hotter than it's ever been.
That is
So,
true. That's true. It
so the
could be.
conditions for hurricanes are just right.
It's right. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah,
It
that's
could be.
true. Even in the Florida Keys, you got water that's just below the Florida Keys, right where the Atlantic and the Gulf comes in with the Caribbean. It's 100-degree water out there.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
but look for
Where
the
it's hot.
book. Look for the book "Angels Don't Play That Harp" by Nick Begich. Okay, out of Alaska.
Mm,
Okay, so
Nick
it
Biggage.
yeah, out of Alaska. Yeah,
Okay.
mm. And
if you want to
that's
know about harp,
that's why we
but
pay for the
but
Patreon.
the United States used to own it. I think the UK actually bought it some 20 some odd years ago. Because
Interesting.
it was actually developed to actually communicate with submarines originally.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, high frequency array something something something. Okay, that's HARP, HAARP.
Interesting indeed.
Okay, you probably can find it. It's probably cheap, probably like a buck or two on Amazon or wherever you're gonna get your book from. It might even be in PDF form because it's so old. But that's the word to the wise.
Buckle up, gentlemen. We are about to have a very interesting 3 weeks into this election phase.
Yeah, man, I'm
This,
tired. I'm tired of it, man. I'm ready to get it
yeah,
over with.
I kind of hope it. I hope it's a clean election and it's just over
It's
the
just
night
one
of
of
the election.
it's not
Just
gonna
be
be
over.
it's not gonna be clean.
Ugh.
Just go ahead and get over it. It's like just like when they I think they were emailing me about the Israel and Iran thing. I said, man, just go ahead and get the shit started, get it over with, man. I'm tired of you guys going back and forth, man. If you're gonna fight,
Oh,
fight. Stop.
oh
You know how it is
Yeah.
in Japan with the sumo wrestlers.
How you say they
No,
come?
hey, OG, stop throwing salt on each other. Go ahead and wrestle,
yeah,
okay?
yeah, yeah. Just go ahead and
Yeah,
drop down
yeah.
the
Go
first
on, get it
time. It's
over
over.
with, man.
down, down there
Yeah.
throwing salt at each other instead. Go ahead and get it over with. Go ahead.
Do you got your fentanyl pill ready?
Oh no, man! Man. I don't smoke, but I'll have me a nice little drink. Okay. In fact, I got me some Kirkland eggnog. Right, it's like 30 proof. Right, so I'm gonna give me a nice tall canteen. Gonna throw me about 10 shots and put a little Coke in it, man. I'm gonna sit down there with some ice and sip on it, man. It's okay. I'm ready. I'm feeling
Yeah, I got
good.
my Johnny Walker ready.
It's black or red?
Black. I
Black.
drank
Oh, you got the. You
black,
get the. Okay.
double black, and gold.
Okay. All right. Oh shit. All right.
Hey man, look, my gentleman Jack is ready to go, bro. Because I think it's gonna be interesting, man. No matter what we predict, I think
Oh,
it's gonna be
that's some
definitely
good
be.
stuff too. Gentleman Jack. Oh my God.
Gentleman Jack is slow and low, bro. Slow and low, and Gentleman Jack, that is the best for me.
Now, because I hear it coming, I'm going to round zero and talk it in.
Hey,
Okay.
electrician. Blue Label is good. Too expensive. Try gold. It does the same thing.
Yeah, even rock got to get you high. You know, it'll do the job. You might. It's the morning after that you won't. You have to worry about.
That hangover, man.
If
You better.
if it ain't gonna be no morning after, it don't matter what it is.
go Mad Dog 20.
Real
Yeah,
talk,
yeah,
bro.
you ain't gonna. Yeah, there will be no hangover tomorrow. Okay.
Oh man,
If y'all go
uh,
laugh to keep from crying, boy. Whew.
what you got on the in the cutting room, OG? What you doing tomorrow?
Ah, I saw some black lady doing the kind of like what you call it, little kind of like what do you call it, the jazz type of poetry thing,
Okay.
talking about black men need to vote for what's her name,
Come on, for Kamala, is it
Kamala.
Kamala?
It's like, you know, the best way to get a black man to vote for
It's Kamala or Kamala. I'm sorry.
what, but you know the best way you could get a black man to vote for who you want to, marry him, have kids with him. How about that?
Yeah, that's
Then
true.
you have shared interests. Hey, how about that?
She
Hey,
had come out with the black man's plan 4 months ago
thank you,
with the
thank
same stuff
you.
she has now. 4 months ago, black men would have been much more intrigued about it. Okay, all right,
Correct.
we'll listen to you. Okay,
That's what I was saying though, OG. Because think about it. If she had came with that earlier,
yes,
but without going and getting people that we don't as black men, they could have did the opposition research and so what. Do the average straight black man gonna listen to Roland Martin
Well,
or
that's
Van Jones?
yeah.
the
You
What
know,
shaming is
you
just
you
what.
you know what it is with black women? They don't do right to you leaving them at least once. Okay, I think black men have left the building. Got to get them back,
Well,
right?
but how do you shame men that you're not having sex with? I mean, you got a group of guys that are having sex, sure, but if you have a growing group of guys who aren't having any sex with these women, what difference does it make? You're
Yeah,
online doing your little OF thing or whatever, or
yeah,
your hot girl summer, and then you're going to shame me when it's time to vote? Like, who are
yeah.
you? You know my wife.
Especially we have a bunch of Latinas of all different colors and
Yep.
stripes coming in, taking your place.
And then there's that small problem of black men being socially conservative, which all of this progressively aberrant sexual behavior is
Well,
just going off
uh,
the rails.
basically, the black men didn't leave the liberals. Okay, the liberals left the black men.
Yep, that's right.
say it again, brother.
Yeah.
You
In,
absolutely
fa-
correct.
in fact, I might do a morning talk on that one. Okay.
That's right.
I would say I'm an independent moderate at best. And when the left went so left, I mean
That's
far left,
right. That's correct.
that's when
It
I
went
was
too
like,
left.
let me check this out. Let me even look at it. That's what kind of woke me up to it though, BGS and OG, because think about it. When they start going so far left, that's when I woke up to it, brother, because I voted for Obama twice. I would
Mm-hmm.
even tell you, I voted for Kerry. I even voted for Kerry. When I was old enough to vote, I voted for Kerry. You feel me? And I was definitely against Bush and what and what Cheney was doing. You feel me?
Hmm.
Ah, shit! You're gonna love this one, Louis. This
What?
Adrian said Senator. He said Fox News said owner of Trouble Aurora apartment says gangs assaulted its representative. Oh shit, ought to be good.
Oh, you sure you
Uh-oh.
want another
I, s- I-
debate, Kamala? You sure you want that? Trump knows he's
wow,
gonna pull it out.
wow, the internet is talking. The
That was
internet is talking.
Man,
brilliant.
JD
Saying talking
Vance
about the East.
destroyed Martha Raddatz the other day on that. And what's funny is that you look at their constituency and who you would think, okay, that's the MAGA, it's white people that they're putting this stuff out to. he actually spoke on what is really affecting brothers and sisters to a lesser extent. The sisters that, like you say, OG, that actually have kids or married to brothers will
Yep.
actually know. He's like, well, hold on, man. Are you saying that black people cannot do the jobs that we're bringing 30% of all construction workers over to do? That is a falsity, because we're not saying we're not going to do the jobs. We're saying that's why the unions ain't even rolling with them, because we're saying we just want proper payment.
Yeah.
That's all we ask for.
The thing is, you set off uh, 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 by dealing with the wartime economy, man. Basically raising the prices of everything, right? You set off
Mm-hmm.
a spiral, okay? Because
That's
people
right.
have to earn more money to keep up with inflation, okay? And then by doing that, it causes another spiral of inflation, which is something that you don't want. So, was something he shouldn't have done, especially after COVID. COVID was bad enough, and he actually doubled down on the same crap and made it worse, which I didn't think was possible. But
Well, the appeal of Trump is that Trump is going to take people back to a sense of normalcy. That's
yeah,
it.
that's
Like
it. That's
the
all it is.
prices are going to get more affordable. The things that you're going to be
Or
stop being afraid to turn the news on. All of that stuff.
at
Just
least it
give
will.
me.
At least it will stabilize. Okay, under
That's all
Biden, it's
people
not
want.
stabilizing. That's all. That's all. People are basically begging for things to actually stabilize instead of all this craziness going on. Two wars that you're paying for. You're hiding money. You're bringing in. In fact, um, somebody asked. Was it Walsh? Somebody asked him about. Actually challenged her or him about. I think was it 60 Minutes that said you brought in 3 times the number of migrants than the
Yep.
previous.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
He did.
them, and she had no answers for that.
He had nothing.
She had nothing. But the thing is, 60 Minutes to keep their reputation, they had to ask those questions. Okay, even though they didn't want to.
And it was a brother, shout out to him, that actually held her responsible.
What your thing is, in fact, he didn't really press her as hard as he probably could have.
No, this is what we're looking at now is not close to the journalism of the 90s or the 80s.
No.
It's not even close. It's
Yeah.
not even close to it.
Investigative journalism has been destroyed. Actually, they'll get rid of you if you actually do a good. And usually, the local guys, right? That's typically now you got the big time, the big three that will actually do some investigative journalism. You used to have those guys, right? But now even the local guys who do
Look,
the investigative journalism, it is frowned upon.
I would agree with what you're saying, except I would say that what percentage of Americans would you say have read a full Atlantic article in the last year?
Yeah,
That's where the journalists are.
if you can trust the Atlantic anymore.
New York Times. Yeah,
New York
good
Times,
point.
Washington,
New York Times. Yeah.
Wall Street Journal used to be able to say, okay, they're reasonably accurate. Okay, they've
Yes.
been lying their ass off. Washington
Yeah,
Post, New York
man.
Times, Wall Street Journal, L.A. Times, all these papers have been lying their asses off, and then Google and Facebook have been basically censoring people. So it's been nuts. Okay, it's been nuts. So
No, and you know what? And you know what? My daughter actually is going into J school, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I asked her a couple questions about, what are they teaching you, and I don't want to bend her wheel to what I may think. I just want to see what
Why
they're
not?
saying
You're
at
her
the school,
father.
right? Well, I say what I say, but I want to see what they're saying at the school, right?
Okay.
And she tells me, and she's like, investigative journalism is actually frowned upon.
Yes.
Frowned upon. You need to take whatever the news agency says, that they're teaching us, that is the truth, and you better not go against it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want a job, yeah. Want a job. Anyway, fellas, I am out.
Yep.
Hey,
What's
BGS,
up?
hold
Yeah,
up.
Yes,
bro.
sir.
Hey,
Okay, go ahead.
just hold up 1 second. 1 second. Let me see. Here it is.
that's your
Thank
new
you, man.
intro, sir.
Appreciate it.
That's your new intro.
uh,
Be just when is your next behind the wall? You think you're gonna do one next week or no? What do you think?
I'll probably. I'm thinking about doing one on Wednesday about reviewing. What's her
Tomorrow.
name? Condoleezza Rice's interview.
All right.
Well, do what you can to bait Dr. Marifa up sooner or later because I want to hear about what's going on in that conference because there's nothing on the news about that. Nothing.
I would have to do something on Friday because he's a day ahead on his off day. So
Okay. Well,
because
that would be
other than he's probably in
you.
meeting.
You could raise the price of the Patreon to $50. Let's pay for that. I need that. I need it. I mean, look, man. The world is meeting. Half the world is meeting, and the part of the world that we're living in is not talking about it.
Are you
So,
talking about the bricks?
BRICS, yes.
Okay.
We're not talking. The part of the world we're not even talking about it. Like it's not even happening.
Aren't they supposed to be meeting next week or something like that?
It's the 22nd, yeah.
Yeah, they haven't met yet.
I mean, they're talking about a little bit over here, a little
I
bit.
mean, they're talking about things, but they haven't met yet. So, they've been talking about it for about a month.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's something that needs to be fleshed out on your Patreon, sir. That would be much appreciated.
When it comes up, we'll do what we can. It'll
Yes,
leak
sir.
somewhere.
Yes, sir. You go to sleep.
All right.
Well, you know, Artia probably have it.
They'll have some of it. The thing is, with this kind of information, it leaks out in different spots, not on one. You're not gonna get it in one stream. It's gonna be leaked here, leaked there, leaked here, leaked there, unless it's really, really big.
Yeah, they'll probably have it on Rumble. I'll have to look on Rumble.
Pepe Escobar probably have a little bit of it, and then the Duran will probably have a little bit of it, and then you get people like Ritter will have a little bit, and different people have different bits and pieces of it. Okay, just like Mearsheimer, Ritter, and McGregor and Wilkerson all tell you little slices of what's going on, except for that Storm Shadow stuff. They all came out and said the exact same thing. Okay, that little Austin came in and stopped that crap. And
interesting times, boy.
well, yes, okay, good time to be alive, right? Okay, y'all wanted to see end of white supremacy, right? and that's what y'all was telling me, right? Right?
I don't know. I'm getting cold feet. I kind of want to go back to. I think a lot of people want to go back to just the regular old America. Give us Trump. Give us some low prices. We're good.
Stability. We'll put up with the crackers a little here and there, but give us stability, right?
The devil we know.
We just want unsalted. Unsalted.
You get that old fashioned racism.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find. Ask my partner for it because we actually talked about this in 2007. He actually gave a speech in London to the black folks. That Harriet Tubman said run. We actually predicted this like back in 2007. You actually see the seeds of it coming.
Who was this BGS?
My partner Keaty. Yes, he gave the speech. We actually did a radio program with him for 2003 to 2014 or something like that before I came on YouTube.
Well, was your show on Pacifica Network or was it?
No, it was independent.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, Pacifica would not touch us.
Gosh, I wonder what you guys were talking about on your radio show.
Gaddafi, Chinese coming in, black African independence, AFRICOM, all kind of stuff. Right?
So that's why you were independent. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Strange how that works, right?
Might have something to do with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go look up Bagbo in I think 2011. Bagbo at the same time that Gaddafi was under stress. Okay, Bagbo
Who?
Bagbo in the Ivory Coast, Cote d'Ivoire. Okay.
Oh, you mean Laurent Gbagbo? Gbagbo, yeah.
Well, that's how you pronounce his name.
Gbagbo, yeah.
Yeah. Go look him up at the same time because he got deposed at the same time Gaddafi did.
Yeah, he was replaced by Alassane Ouattara. This was like in 2011. I
Yeah,
remember
2011.
watching him.
Remember that? Yeah.
Alassane Ouattara, who is still who's still in power to this very day.
So that whole thing was about those two countries for the most part.
Absolument. Cote d'Ivoire.
In fact, if I can find it, it was basically it was the Council of Foreign Relations had a recording, and a guy that came up, one of their members came up, talked about that China and Russia were pushing the Europeans out of Africa in 2011.
Right.
If I 2010 or 2011, if I can find it, I'll dig it up. A lot of stuff, man. That, you know, computer crashes and shit like that. You kind of start to lose stuff. So I'll see if I can dig it up.
All right. Get some sleep, BGS. I know what's the face is gonna be waiting for you over in Georgia. Oh, Gorilla Grip waiting for me on the other side.
There's certain entities would interrupt me if I even tried to go there. Okay, oh hell, not before me.
That's why we're doing this on the sneak. That's why, hey, BGS.
Yeah.
I'm not. You know I'm crazy. You need an absolute lunatic to pull something this off. This is
this off here. Gorilla Grip would say, "Shit, I got this."
No.
Try to look at my ass. Try to look at my ass and go light work.
No, actually, that would be Isaiah Whitlock Jr. And Clay Davis riding shotgun with me in the car, going,
"Oh
shit. Boy, you kidnapped your second father, put him in the trunk just to hook up on some Gorilla Grip pussy. Shit, you got his ass, boy. You got his ass."
And then, like the dude said when he walked out of prison, okay, the other glass is not for me, and he said, "My nigga." Anyhow, y'all.
No.
I'll check you guys out later.
My best to the grandkids.
Yeah, salute, bro.
Yeah. Oh, gee. First of all, finally good to meet you, man. You know, it's the second time we crossed paths.
Oh yeah. Well, it's always the timing, right? So you catch me on my way back from work. So.
Wait, what time is it over there?
It is 3:34 in the afternoon, right?
All right. It's over here. It is 9. It's almost 9:15 a.m. over here, Central European time. In my case,
it's 3:13 here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how you do. How do you stay up like this?
Me?
Well, I'm about to take my goofy ass to sleep.
Yeah, I was about to say that's rough. I can't. 3:30 wrecks me for a whole week.
Shit. Try being a night owl, my dude. Which is what I am. I don't know why I'm up now. It's just how I focus and everything. Let me ask you something.
Yeah, I'm about to take it down myself. I gotta get up at 10 o'clock.
You got work in the morning, you know. Somebody got to man the supermarket. Make sure everybody is on point, not fucking around.
Yes, your point of view is your information is much appreciated. Knowing what's going on in the American supermarket, because that's going to decide the next election. The supermarket prices.
Oh my gosh, man! Don't even get me started.
In various regions too.
Because I saw someone in the chat the other day. I think it was McDrama Bear. He said he got a box of French fries and a water. It was $8. What?
Oh. Wait, you mean a bag of French fries or a box?
No, probably like a large fry or something like that.
You mean at a fast food restaurant?
Yeah, for fast food restaurants.
All right.
Wait a minute. It varies from place to place, though. From state to state, it varies. You know.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I think
but right now, brother, I'm gonna
guess how much a large fry in Popeyes costs.
A large what?
Like $4.
A large 6.
For French fries?
Yeah, for the large.
$6 for large French fries at Popeyes.
That's nuts.
Wait a minute, a George and an Abe?
Bro, right now, a boneless roast beef right now costs like for like 1 pound, it's like $12 to $15. That used to cost just 3 years ago $6 to $7.
If I was to go to McDonald's
And
and
I'm
I
in
would get
Texas.
a quarter pounder with an extra large size, with large fries and a large drink and an extra
Don't say
sandwich,
$20. Don't say $20. Don't say that.
like 19.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
$19.
Look,
That's $3 of minimum wage.
yo, I was talking about this on one of BGS's. I think it was Behind the Wall, where now, like where I'm at, like 4 years ago, like during Trump, the McDonald's used to be crowded because the food is cheap. McDonald's is cheap as you could get.
Yeah, that's what McDonald's
I
whole.
would go there on my lunch break, right? If I don't want to eat nothing in the store, I could walk. It would take my whole lunch break just to get my order. Now I could walk into McDonald's and get my stuff and leave because the food is
Nobody's in
so
there.
fucking expensive.
McDonald's is expensive. It's high as hell, right? And then it's horrible for your health. So the reason why McDonald's kept its hegemony, right? Because it was cheap. We knew it wasn't worth a damn, but it was cheap. Now you could literally. I'm gonna tell you this: you can go to Chili's, and there's a McDonald's and a Chili's right down the street from me. I went to Chili's, and I can get a 3-course whole deal, plus $10 plus the tip I'm gonna give the people. So even if I just gave them 10 and 10, $20, and give me a whole big boy burger, double side bacon, everything, double cheese, everything, fries, I get sauce and chips, everything. Food costs under $15 plus tip $20 out the door. Like my man said, you get you a quarter pounder meal large, right? And you mess around and get you another burger. Man, you talking about they net $20, and they ain't even nothing. It's garbage.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
The family pack size chicken in my store almost doubled.
Oh my gosh! I mean,
What?
people are going through it, man.
Look, 2 years ago, a family pack of drums or thighs were averaging between $4.50 to $6, because it's random weight. Now it's between 8 and 10.
No, you're right, because that's I've seen that same thing where it's like the bag of let's just say leg and thigh, right? The dark meat, leg and thigh, chicken quarters, right? Normally it's $3 here. Normally $3. Now we got Sanderson Farms and we got Tyson, real kind of close to here, so we get a little bit better deal. But think about it. Now when I go there, man, that shit is $7 to $8, almost $10 with tax. That same thing that was $3 almost 3 years ago is now $10.
Well, I think that the problem is, if you told Americans you're going to have to suffer for a little while because we have this great purpose, like say World War II, right? People maybe they wouldn't like it, but they could deal with it.
But they're
not
bonds.
telling people
they
why.
Bought bonds, right? We were actually like the propaganda, right? And propaganda has its purpose, but the propaganda they had was like buy the bonds. So people was actually, we had the bond people would buy the bonds, and then they had ration cards. I mean, it was crazy back then, right? Remember, they had the ration cards. So like, if you wasn't doing a certain thing, you couldn't get meat. Like you had to have a card, you can get it.
But there was a
Hey,
purpose,
AOG.
right? There was a purpose for the suffering. People are just suffering now, and there's no purpose. It's just
A passport.
Go ahead.
Agreed.
2 years ago, a 6-pack of cup of noodles was $1.99. Now it's $4.99
for ramen noodles.
For a 6-pack of cup of noodles.
That's
Nixon.
oh man, that's extortion, man. That's
right. You can get a whole case. You get 2 cases of noodles, 12-pack noodles for $3 for the whole case.
Was you in the room, Passport, couple years ago when I was in behind the wall and I was showing the prices in the store during COVID?
Yes, of course. Yes, I was. I was there. This is crazy.
You know, I sat there and watched this, bro, and I got a lot of partners. I deal with e-commerce and a lot of shipping, and a lot of brothers that I got that deal with. They're actually drivers, owner operators themselves, and they actually do independent. And I have seen just basically off the diesel prices where some of those brothers, like it is to the point where my truck, the insurance alone, because the insurance is going up, right? And the diesel's so high that in the way that the brokers are doing the loads, like it's like they like, man, I've almost got to get out of the business. I got to hold up the money that I've been saving up. I'm having to use that in fuel, and I'll explain this to people. The shit falls downhill when diesel is high. When there's brothers having to drag these trailers to these grocery stores. And if anybody think with their foolish mind that the fact of diesel that is higher, that it does not account for the higher price of the food is a damn fool. Because the price of diesel direct now it depends on where you're getting the food from. Yes, it depends on what the farmers are selling for. Is it a drought in your area? Where we buying it from? Yeah, that includes prices. But the diesel alone, just the fact that the brokers, what makes it good for you as a trucker to be able to drive to Georgia, pick up so many a refrigerated or a reefer truck, what they would call it, and drag it all the way back down here. Man, if you cannot make no money on that, you're not gonna take that load. So if you do take that load, where does the money get passed down to when we have to pay them more money?
To the
Right.
consumer.
And what the supermarkets are doing now, they're trying to deal with more places that are geographical, more regional. Like I'm in the New York metro area, so we'll try to get stuff from PA, Delaware, the farthest, and New York and Jersey. And before we was getting stuff shipped direct from Ohio and
Oh yeah,
farther
we can't do that.
PA.
It costs too much.
Yeah, like
Yeah, we deal with the farms in
over
Jersey and PA. Now they're trying everything trying to it's like regional now, just to
But
save
but
fuel.
but here's the rub in all of that, right? The rub in all of this and how it ties together is how do you scare people with democracy talk, dictatorship talk if they can't afford to live? It's not scary anymore. It's not scary. You can't scare people with you might lose democracy, all that talk, if you can't take your kids to McDonald's.
It's beyond scared. It's to the point of being pissed off.
But let's keep real, OG, man. Most Americans today, because it's not taught in school systems, or there was taught that when the Pledge of Allegiance was assigned and created, and a lot of people don't do that no more. I think they removed that. It said it never said about democracy. It said to hold to the republic in which we stand. This is always will be a republic.
Yes.
It's written in fine print.
That's right.
This democracy shit. This is like almost close to 20 years old.
But chaos. The thing is, people are seeing that the American dream is non-existent for a large group of people.
Mm-hmm.
So you lose that patriotism in the people. They had a thing. Gen Z kids are unrecruitable in the military.
Yeah, because the United States made it designed the way. Because think about this, Luis and Charles talked about us, and I don't know if he's played videos, but I know there's some videos from other people that used to serve military. They comment on this. I know Cerulean covered this years back, right? That you gotta understand to have physically fit future soldiers. It starts within the home and within what they put in their bellies. The American diet now for the last 40 years has gone to the tanker, to the point now you find kids getting sugar, and we all know what I'm talking about, earlier than it was 25, over 30 years ago. As each generation comes into this earth in the West, their genetics have dwindled faster. So all those diseases that you won't see until you're a little older, people that depend when they're born, it comes sooner. Why? Because they poison the American public with
Yeah,
their
but chaos. Well,
so
when I was a kid,
and remember, with the food system also plays a role in their physical health as well. So when you
oh
see
yeah,
someone can't do a basic push-up or sit, no, that was by design, Louis.
but here's the thing, chaos. I used as a child, I ate more sugar than anybody. But guess what? When I was in school, our gym class was an hour long.
No. In school, you had gym class.
Oh yeah, you had no
You
choice.
had your
You
friend.
had no choice.
Yeah, you
You
had
had
to
no
pass.
choice.
Yeah,
We had
you
the
had
rope. We had the rope that we had to climb to the ceiling. We had pull-up bars. It
and
was
what was it
mandatory.
called?
We took
What was it called?
gymnastics.
That was
We
the
had to do flips and
presidential
all that
fitness
stuff.
challenge. Remember the presidential fitness challenge? Right.
Oh
It was
yeah, I got my certificate when Ronald Reagan was president.
you had to go up that rope, right? Women,
Yep.
men, whatever. You had to go up that rope, come down, and you could not fail physical education. I've seen brothers in that time would pass everything else, did not want to go to gym or didn't, and would fail. They would have to come back and do it. They had to come back and do it.
And when I was in school, if you failed gym, you failed the whole cycle. You had to repeat that grade.
Exactly. That's what I was just saying.
And
I remember.
all you have to really do it.
And in high school, hold on, passport. In high school, we had one high school. If you went to that particular high school, they had swim class. It was the only high school with a pool in it. And if you failed swim class, you failed the grade. It was two in high school.
That's before they introduced No Child Left Behind in the early 90s. So because that now you just pass on people now.
No Child Left Behind was after the 90s.
Yeah.
That was Bush Jr.
Yeah,
that was Bush Jr.
Yeah, Bush Jr. Yeah. George W.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Need to stretch my legs. Ouch.
Yeah, I'm
But you know
shocked
it's
that
funny. You know it's funny. You mentioned Bush Jr. and everybody. He's the dumbest of all presidents. It's obvious he would probably lower the standards of that shit.
I mean,
Well,
if
he
your dad
did
is
Common Core, right? Common Core. Remember Common Core, y'all? Common Core. And you would think that Common Core, if they're going to say, well, we're going to put a standardization, No Child Left Behind, because that was his deal. No Child Left Behind, we're going to do Common Core. So they started it with him. Obama.
I don't know if they started with him. I remember in the later 2010s that came around, but it was never around.
No Child Left Behind was meant to bust the to weaken the teachers union, because the teachers union was very powerful back then.
But you remember, the only way that they can get their bonus, well, it depends on per state. But I know the federal mandate, especially with the unions, it was like the standardized testing. So in Texas, we got the TAX test, right? The Texas Basic Assessment Curriculum or whatever. So it was like if you did not graduate these kids, now there was social promotions, and they was like, oh, well, we're gonna graduate because they based on graduation. So if people drop out or whatever, they fucked up, they don't get their bonus. So back then it was like, if the tax test, if your kid did not, they could have passed everything. That tax test come around, if you did not pass that, then you did not graduate. You had to go to summer school or you had to pass that test. So they put the test thing on to where the bonus was. So we're gonna just teach the kids the test. So the test was the test, but at the end of the day, if we're doing, if I'm in control of teachers, I'm in control of the teacher union. I want to teach my kids about basic stuff that we need to know. Okay, science, math, right? Geography, word history, English. Okay, these are things that we need to know. Sexual education, all this other stuff was a side note. You used to have a parental slip to even take sexual education back in those days. when Common Core came around, they finally started doing the sex education. They started doing one. But even then, when Bush brought out that stuff and Obama, continued it, but what they have now for sexual education, first of all, you don't even have to have a parental slip now to even take this. And what they're teaching now in sex education is way, way crazier than what we even had to have for a parental slip.
The problem with all of this is single parent kids are not good students, generally speaking. They got too much on their plate as a kid, from nutrition at home to who's coming in and out of the house to dealing with their emotions, and then they got to study. And so if you have a whole nation where that's becoming closer to the norm, your education is just going to suffer. Point blank, period.
Hence the Common Core. Like you hit it right on point. Hence common, when they say common, so now we're going to make it standardized. Man, you automatically right with that because now you're standardizing it, right? So now all kids in federal, everybody gets this basic amount of knowledge. And is it knowledge that you really need? Maybe. But more or less, it's actually giving a net negative. And what you're saying,
I mean, I just, if you're going to compare the American education system standard to basically any other developed nation on the planet, we should not be anywhere close to where we are. Point blank, period. Like you could ask the average American kid, name me 10 capitals of states, and they have trouble with it. Right? Like that's something that's supposed to get drilled into them when they're in third grade. Like that's not supposed to be possible. Like kids worrying about algebra, like kids here are studying algebra in 7th grade. 7th grade is algebra grade. Like you got people hemming and hawing about doing algebra in college in America. That shouldn't be possible.
Facts.
Shouldn't be possible. Like these kids are going to be doing calculus before they get into high school. Like trig calculus, everybody. So if you're not doing that, then you're just, man, I hope that America's gonna be okay, man. Because you can only have so many influences.
Think about the amount of money. So the amount of money that we spend, especially like base versus the other developed nations who has enough per capita to just base base one versus one. Think about it. The amount of money that we spend on what we do versus, let's just say, India. And India is not the best place, when it comes down to, basic services. But a lot of the Indians, and I've dealt with a lot of Indians that are coming in with tech. And those dudes are real smart when it comes to tech. But those guys, when they come over here, generally, if they're not already down, they got their visas and stuff to come over with their people. They come over with tech, and their people spent the money to get them over here on that visa. Those guys, even in their underdeveloped country, they already have a degree. And when they come here, they already degreed up, and they're light speed ahead. So when they get over here with the amount of money and the amount of moving around they can do in America, they shine like a motherfucker. They shine because they are already on that level. Even though we put the STEM money into the STEM programs, we've done that. Okay, but us, specifically, I would speak specifically to Black men, and shout out to brothers like Brother Umar, who was actually trying to put a school together. Shout out to Brother King Randall, who was actually done and got brothers in, young brothers, and he's a younger cat that actually got them in and actually is putting money in together. We don't have that from the people who's got the millions of dollars, who we would think billions, who would think, this Black. Where are their schools? Why is it a Dr.
Jalen Rose got a school?
Huh?
Jalen Rose.
Jalen Rose. I did not know he had a school. He had a school?
Yeah, he had a school for like over 10 years.
Yeah,
okay.
Surely does.
So now, when we have Jalen Rose, I'll give you a prime example. Good thing you said that. Now, think about that. Jalen Rose has a school. I think LeBron has one as well. I remember LeBron said that they had some. But look, think about it.
And there's a football player I forgot, is a former professional football player that has a school also.
Yeah,
So
but
when we talk
you know
about
the problem.
education, why did not like BJ said earlier, 4 months ago, and shout out to Dr. T with the plan. We have tenured brothers that they can look up and see. Okay, they've actually done things, not just talking about it, but doing it. Why is it that we don't even get a you know, they would rather go to Roland Martin and Ricky Smiley, D.L. Hughley. I mean, you could just name the fools that they come out there with. Why do they not ever go and get brothers who already have done that? Maybe that would actually work, even if I disagree with your politics. But if you was working with brothers who've already done this without your help, I would be more inclined to might think about voting for you. Me personally, but they don't do that.
Well,
What are
there's
what are
this
black
there's a
what are
small.
black men supposed to be in this society? The designated
Look at
underclass,
the
correct?
school in Chicago. It was the all male high school that had like a 99.9% graduation rate.
Do they ever
I think
mention
they
them?
just recently went co-ed.
But
Yeah,
It was
why
an
what?
all
would
black.
you force that school to go co-ed? Why?
Why is it co-ed?
The women forced it.
There it is. Sorry about the noise.
Wait. Is there an all girls school as well in Chicago? First of all,
Hell yeah, plenty of them.
now let me ask you a question about that. If there is, what is the graduation rate
Well,
for
the
those
reason
schools?
why they made it go co-ed because they want like whatever, the argument was that these males are going to college like because they had a high rate of people attending and graduating college, so they want their daughters to have the same opportunity.
Those
Well,
girls could get those opportunities in an all-girls school if they apply themselves and invest in those schools and encourage them in those all-girls schools. Don't bring them to the boys' schools. All they're gonna do is just gonna bring the boys down. Because understand,
No, it's going to distract the boys. They're going to
that's
put
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna bring them.
they're whopping them.
Chaos,
And that's it. And I got to be full. Because think about it. What's the purpose of putting boys and girls at the same environment, especially their what do you call it, preteen and teenage?
Yeah. Chaos, hear me out. What the fuck? I heard what you're saying, Chaos. But what I'm saying is like, it's gonna bring the boys down because the girls are gonna be a distraction, like I was trying to say, fam. But also you're talking about preteen boys, pubescent boys and pubescent girls. You just open up a can of worms right there because since if it's an all boys school compared to an all girls school, what's the teen pregnancy rate when it's a single sex school? If it's a co-ed, there's going to be some problems, and that opens up a whole can of worms and some other kind of issues by making it co-ed. Next thing you know, you're going to see some accusations going around. Certain boys are going to be distracted like hell because not to mention, yeah, boys are going to be fighting, but now you're going to see certain altercations being amped up because the boys are going to get that natural urge to compete over female affection and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Am I wrong?
Mm-hmm. Especially if the chick look hot. So you put all those girls in there and say out of that bunch, 1 out of 5 of them are going to be the hot one, and the boys going to fight the hell out of them.
I remember in the UK.
We already have that in public schools. We can already get the numbers off that just based off public schools. Mm-hmm. So when we do separate it to the point where it is an all male school, where it's just strictly dependent on brothers getting their knowledge and not having the distraction of women in it, and even in certain times in the military back in the day, they separated different platoons. It's a reason why they had all the women over here. It's a reason why they did it because it is a damn distraction. It is. You feel me?
I remember
I think one of the things.
Go ahead.
I think one of the things that's leading a lot of black men to not just considering dating out, but just making non-traditional decisions is because If you don't change what we're doing, it's not going to work. It hasn't worked, and to keep doubling down on something that doesn't work is lunacy. Sending your kid to
Insanity. That's what they call it, right?
an underperforming school where you got teachers that are all women, and they're telling your kid who likes to run and jump around to sit down or he's going to get bad grades, is just a recipe for disaster. And they won't separate the boys, and you just throwing your boys into a grinder, and it doesn't make any sense. Makes no sense.
No.
You got to save your boys from this.
You got to protect the boys at all costs, because those boys, from the minute they set foot on a public school, are going to be targeted in ways people don't even consider. I mean,
our boys are the carriers of our seed. They are the carriers of our seed. So if they're under attack as men, we are dereliction of duty, Lewis, if we do not stand up and protect them. And if it's a problem with the public schools, we need to change it up. We need to put them somewhere else, because it's our duty to do that, because those brothers are the carriers of our seed.
Carriers of your legacy, because they
That's
are
right.
your seeds. They're not carriers of your seeds. They are your seeds, first and foremost.
They are. That's what I'm saying. That's the point of what I'm saying. That is, you're absolutely correct. And that's the point of what I'm saying, is they are. And, not to take nothing away from the women. And that's what people get all mixed up in, like, oh, well, women, no, it's DNA that's carrying on. As a man, we know, as men, we know when we have our son, we ain't finna try to tell our son to go out here and go and have unprotected sex with women that they don't really plan on being with, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, that may do something dirty to them, or they is not approved, by OG. Like, no, don't do that.
Let's not forget also, in these single sex schools, the teachers are also the same sex. In an all boys school, it has to be male teachers. But then again, the teachers, women are going to be saying, but what if they get violated or whatnot by the hands of these male teachers? Unlike what happens in public schools when boys get taken advantage of by female teachers.
They don't want to hear that.
But then again,
they don't want to hear that.
Then again,
some of those teachers, you see those female teachers right now, and I hate to bring race involved in it, but I will do it because it's important. When you
that's
see
irrelevant. Bring it on.
Teachers, white teachers, or other than black, let's just say that, because they don't necessarily all the time be white, but a lot of time they do. And it's white teacher women, and what happens? They do that, right? They may, she can't work in this school district no more. She may not be able to work in the state or this and that. But she doesn't get that whole full jacket. If a brother who's the coach, okay, girl mad at him because he told her she couldn't do nothing. Man, if she say anything, your ass is done, son. You ain't working in the district, not the state. You ain't working in the federal. You ain't working nowhere. And bro, you finna get that sexual offender on your tag. Boy, you better not go to jail, because they're gonna get your ass.
You're gonna be on the registry and it's gonna take you a while to get that shit off. Get your name off that.
Seen brothers, it happened too, who ain't did a damn thing. I know they ain't done nothing, and destroy their whole career.
Yeah. By the way, your name isn't put on the registry until after you get released, and it's a prerequisite of your release. You have to go and register on the registry once you're released. Otherwise,
you good.
You're a fugitive on the run, and you might get sent back in.
Brother, in the state of Texas, if you get caught taking a piss on the side of a building and the police pull up on you and want to mess with you, and they say, well, you was taking a piss on the side of the building, you are now on the list. Period.
As what? What they charging you with? Indecent exposure?
Offender, yes. And you are offender. Yes, brother. Man, look it up, man. I'm telling the law. This is the law.
This is in Texas. Well, everything's bigger in Texas. So bigger crime. So they make it Is the crime's
Bro,
bigger?
I'm not telling you nothing I don't already know, bro. I done seen brothers I done seen women, not that many, but I done seen some women, but most time they don't get the women for that. But I done seen brothers who have done that, have had, they take a pee on the side of the road, on the side of a building, get hit for indecent exposure, and bam, on the list.
I recall.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to take it down. My eyes is getting heavy.
Yeah, so
Oh
stop.
yeah, you got work in the morning and everything. Right. Sorry, man.
I appreciate you guys coming up, and everybody that listened, I appreciate you too. I'm about to go to sleep. Good night, fellas.
Good night. When we go offline, I'm just hoping I could chop it off a little bit with the rest of the fellas. Get some contact
All right,
information.
cool.
Trade contact
All right.
information when you go offline.
Salute, Louis.